This ain't just a football. This is your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, your soul in a roll. It's your life. Tomorrow on that field, it's do or die. Win or cry.
Go, baby, go!
Amen. Tonight when you go home, I want you to brush your little teeth. I want you to wash your little faces. And I want you to dream the sweet dreams of football glory.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Hate to Pile On. And you see, it's a little bit different today. We have a special guest on the show. Shout out to Kyle. We went to high school together. Shout out to the Bay. Lots to talk about. Vikings fan and also an honorary Washington fan as well. Kyle, how you doing today?
I'm all right. I don't like to be called a Washington fan though, but yeah. How are y'all guys doing?
We've seen you in that Washington Kirk Cousins jersey. Don't lie to us.
Little best of both worlds, Hannah Montana.
Uh,
And a former Georgia Tech fan. I think he's a free agent right now.
I am a free agent. I'm more of a good players fan, but one day I'm going to settle down and I'm going to pick a team that courts me correctly and treats me right. Georgia Tech isn't that team.
Yeah, maybe we have to have a free agency episode where you declare your fandom. I'm doing that for the NBA. I have a player option this year, after this year with the Milwaukee Bucks. And also we're going to be getting into soccer later on next year as well on the show. So it should be good. It'll be a fun time.
The big Minnesota sports happened again last night, and the Loons lost in the championship to who knows? I don't watch soccer. We lost, and something bad happened. There we go.
Okay, awesome. So let's start off. Let's start off with our team. I've called this from the jump and from the beginning. Coastal Carolina getting the big victory this past weekend over BYU. I was with them from the jump. I called the victory, but I do want to keep the receipts that, Jonathan, you did not pick Coastal to win. So I want you to explain yourself.
I explained it when I gave my prediction. I wanted them to win, so I picked them to lose. It's a reverse jinx. It works every time. It's like LeVar Ball, one-on-one, it never lost.
Oh, okay. What? You know what? That's fine. We've been fans of Coastal Carolina. One of the biggest news is that I want to break from this game, or not even from this game per se, but the take that I had was that Jamie Chadwell is the king of South Carolina, and he shall take his throne. But the throne has been taken by Shane Beamer, assistant Oklahoma coach, son of Frank Beamer.
Longtime Virginia Tech coach.
Yes, longtime Virginia Tech coach who is now going to be in line to be the next head coach at South Carolina. I've been predicting that be the job for Jamie Chadwell. He literally going from North Greenville to Charleston Southern to coaching South Carolina. That has been the perfect trajectory for him to get the throne as king of South Carolina. Will he stay at Coastal longer, or will he be looking to cash in this next season, possibly at Vandy, possibly Michigan? The Michigan job will probably be open because John Harbaugh.
No, they're giving Harbaugh an extension.
Did they?
They're talking about it.
No, I thought they talked about it during. I thought he already had a 2-year extension that he did this offseason.
I think they did, but now they're talking about another one because if they extend him again, it lowers his buyout. So they basically want to extend him so they can fire him sooner.
That's terrible.
It's like voidable years on an NFL contract.
Right. I mean, if this is the thing, maybe Jamie Chadwell needs another year or two to bring Coastal. I like what Jamie Chadwell's doing at Coastal. He's putting the Sun Belt on the map. He is obviously becoming one of the hottest head coaching candidates in the nation right now.
He's going to replace Dabo at Clemson at some point.
That's a long time. I mean, yes, Jamie is still pretty young. I think he's like late 30s, 38, maybe 43. Between that age.
I thought he was in his 40s.
Hold on. So is he Does he come up with an offensive scheme, or is he a defensive coach?
Oh, he's an offensive coach all the way. He was a
Okay.
wide receiver coach to start off with at Charleston Southern, and his first go around before he went to Delta State. Either Delta State or North Greenville was his first head coaching job.
So talking about this BYU game, you got to give respect to one thing. The Coastal Carolina offense is something that you can't learn in 2 days. That offense is so confusing that I'm a Tech fan, whatever, and I watch a triple option, and I've seen them add to the triple option.
Right.
Even 1 year, we had the James Madison quarterback. I can't think of his name right now, but we ran a pistol triple option, completely different. But I can still understand what's going on in the backfield as someone who played offensive line. I could understand the blocks.
Right.
When I'm watching this Coastal game, you know that feeling when you have too many things in front of you and your anxiety is like in your stomach is like, and you're like, that was me trying to figure out where the ball was going out the backfield. There's no shot that a defense who has below level athletes like BYU, not I want to say below, but average athletes. They're not like a D1 school, like a real true D1 school. There's no way that you'd just be able to make up the mistakes of what they're doing. That team is dirty as in, one, they're dirty. Two, they're gritty. And you got to figure out what they're doing. Where's the ball at? I couldn't figure out where the ball was. And someone that pays attention to weird stuff like that, I could not figure out where the ball was. And that's not fair to be like, well, they destroyed BYU. It was like 2 days notice, and they have to learn what in the world that all is even doing.
That is a valid point. I think one of the things too is that Coastal will be returning the favor back to BYU. I'm not sure when that'll happen. Maybe as early as next year. Which, if it is next year, will set up for an amazing rematch and storylines. And it'll be in Utah as well. Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks, 2 days notice is very short, and then having to fly across the country. That is tough. But at the same time, Coastal was preparing for Liberty up until Thursday at the same time as well.
Yes, but I get that. Liberty's good though. So BYU's not prepared to play football until Thursday, right? Well, when did they play? They played Saturday, so they're not ready to play football Thursday. They also then get a top 25 matchup out of nowhere. They're trying to coast, pun intended. They realize they're not getting an invite. They're not going to get a bowl invite if they don't play. Now, this game helped them. Then their offense is not good. That's why I like Zach Wilson so much, is because he's hitting guys in the hands with balls that couldn't catch it. Like, just can't. They won't catch it. And
no, the one guy did catch it. He just decided to run 25 yards backwards for some reason. And turn a 3rd and 5 into a 3rd and 30. His hands look fine though.
This is why I love Zach Wilson. He's doing this crazy. He's doing Pat Mahomes without any Pat Mahomes weapons. He's throwing 70-yard bombs, hitting people in the hands, and they're dropping them. If his receivers were good, if he had one draftable receiver, you're talking about Heisman candidate. He's literally hitting Mitt Romney's cousin in the hands. And not a joke. He's hitting Mitt Romney's cousin in the hands with a 60-yard bomb on the money, and he can't catch it. Now, that Coastal team is dirty, and it's going to be fun. But that team, if you get a real defense, and you get a week to look at that, that's going to be – you get that's like Georgia Tech versus Clemson when they had 37 first-round picks. We couldn't move the ball. It was just like, oh, okay, all right, we're just going to get hit in the backfield.
So you're saying that Coastal – so you're saying that BYU probably would have blown out Coastal if it was even circumstances for the full week. So are you disrespecting Jamie Chadwell, the king of South Carolina, mind you? I'm crowning him the king of South Carolina for 2020. Chad Staggs on that Black Swarm defense over there.
Did you even like him when you played for him?
Listen, I did. I did. It's someone else I didn't like.
That's fair. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. He recruited both of us to CSU.
Really?
Yeah.
He didn't talk to me. He didn't say one word to me.
No.
And I'm gonna let y'all know I graded better than anyone else on the offensive line. I may have got 10 snaps a game, but I never got below 85. All right.
I don't know. I need
Okay.
to see the receipts on that.
I think it happened in
Hey.
one game, and he claims it was like the whole season.
No, it was every game. Bro, I went in. I had one bad
How many
play.
games did you play though? You can't say every game. I don't think you played every game.
I started 6 games. I started 6 games senior year.
Senior year.
Now,
Okay.
so senior year, I started 6 games. That was because someone on our team was like a criminal, and he kept like not being able to play. I'm not going to drop any names, but
He always ended up playing. That was the frustrating part.
Yeah, we would score, and they'd be like, "All right, Gabe, get on out." But so I'm not gonna hate, but I played in 8 games. I started 6, so that's pretty good money. And then I had 3 pancakes versus West Ashley.
I mean, okay. I had 21 against West Ashley.
I need receipts on that. I don't believe.
21. That was what you can look at. I can pull up.
I don't know if it was 21, but he did have in the double digits. I remember.
I had a crazy game against West Ashley.
It was the fat nose tackle that like couldn't move. It was like Violet Beauregard when she blows up. She's like a big bubble. You just push him over, and he's like.
Yep. Remember that was a game that everyone made fun of me because I ran down the field and it blocked the safety. But I was like, dun, 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 and I blocked the safety like deep downfield.
That was the game I had
everyone
food
was laughing
poisoning.
at me on tape.
Yeah, that was the food poisoning week. Like, none of us.
Yeah,
played.
that's why
like,
I was in because you were taking a dump in the locker room.
Yeah, good times. I lost 25 pounds that week.
I lost some weight. Game was trash because it was like practice really actually gets you in shape for like you can get out of shape in a couple of days so fast. Like it blows my mind. I'm like, oh man, I'm tired. Golly. But back to the Coastal game. Jonathan, so what do you think is next for Coastal? I think actually tonight was the night when the college football rankings came out. But in the AP poll, Coastal did jump up to 11, and I think BYU was like 13 or so, 13, 14.
College football playoff.
Oh, in the AP. They're like 18. They're like 18 in their CF.
College football playoff was in 13.
I don't watch that.
Oh, Coastal?
Yep.
Okay. We'll take that.
Alabama 1, Notre Dame 2, Clemson 3, Ohio State 4, Texas A&M 5. But I heard Ohio State might try to play Texas A&M.
That's cap. Big Ten is trash. The Big Ten is completely trash because of like they played this season out of spite. Like they gave their team no leeway and wiggle room to like knowing that every team has had COVID issues this year. And the fact is like, we'll play 8 games, 8 straight weeks, and if you can't play that game, it's canceled. And then now the fact that teams could just cancel, games because they don't want to have their, star players out with COVID. It's like, we're not going to play this. We're not going to get embarrassed on national television. So that's Michigan has canceled 2 games straight. Maryland's had to cancel a couple games. It sucks for the Big Ten. Big Ten and Ohio State trying to get that national championship push. Where will they even qualify for the Big Ten championship? So that's a big storyline going forward.
I don't see them making the playoffs. I hope with all my heart that Clemson beats Notre Dame, just so we have Notre Dame, Alabama, Clemson, and Florida. That's
you think Florida jumps over Texas A&M?
Did Florida just lose again?
I think Florida will have to play,
but their loss is to Texas A&M.
Yeah, but I think right now the championship game for the SEC sets up to be Alabama versus Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm about to look it up.
See, I thought it was I thought it was going to be Texas A&M because they have the better record, so they should go because they're not doing conferences. It's just the best records play each other. So Bama's going to smoke Texas A&M. We'll just say I think Alabama.
Texas A&M had a game canceled. Florida has the better record. Florida's 8-1, A&M 7-1.
And I watched A&M game this week for the first time watching A&M this year. They look like a really good team. Their offensive line is stout, pretty good running.
A&M?
Yeah.
Who's on that?
Oh yeah.
Who's on it? Like, is there all anyone's draftable? Because I'm not seeing any names on there at all.
Both the tackles are draft eligible. The left guard is really good. I think his last name is Green. They had Elton Jenkins last year. He got drafted.
Yeah, Elton Jenkins. Yeah.
I don't know who he got drafted by, but he got drafted last year. I'm gonna look it up.
He's not on the Saints, right? Saints drafted a center this year and a center last year too. They drafted the Michigan center this year.
Yeah, they drafted Cesar Ruiz this year, and
they took a big boy last year. I think
might have been Elton Jenkins.
Oops.
Or
Elton
Jenkins either went.
I think I brought it up.
He went to the Saints or the Packers.
But I know this right now. Kellen Mond is breaking all my favorite college football players' records, and I can't have it. I'm gonna need Johnny Manziel to get an extra year in eligibility, and
he should have played this year because this year doesn't count.
That is true.
What?
This year doesn't count against eligibility.
Yes, but he has like pro and like semi-pro stuff, and he's like 30 pounds overweight.
Yeah, but it doesn't count, so he could have played.
I mean, that's what he should have done with JT Daniels earlier this too. Like, fuck.
Yeah, like the game Texas A&M had canceled. They could have. I don't know if it was their outbreak. It's probably LSU actually. Now that I think about it, but if it was Texas A&M who had to forfeit because they had too many players, they could have just pulled Johnny Manziel back. And been like, yeah, you're starting, buddy. Mike Evans, you're on a bye this week. Come on down.
He's injured too much.
That would be nasty. Especially, think about what Mike Evans is doing in the pros right now, and then him going back to college to just, wreak havoc.
Listen, I watch every game, right? I'm thinking, Johnny Manziel's so good. He's so good. Oh, my God. No one's ever going to touch him. And then it's actually just Mike Evans all done. Oh, yeah. It's just Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is a beast. Yeah, he's definitely with that wingspan, just bailing him out on a lot of throws and busted offensive line coverages or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because his offensive line was really good too. There was
he had Jake Matthews, right?
3 or 4 years straight. He had a left tackle drafted in the first round, and they all played. It was Cedric ooooweeeee, Jake Matthews. And I think another Matthews.
Is it
it was Jokel.
Jokel,
ooooweeeee, and then Matthews.
And
they were all playing on the line at the same time. And then when one graduated as a first-round pick, the next one got drafted or switched to left tackle and got drafted as a first-round pick.
That's how
it was 3 years straight.
Hey, tell me why Jesse Williams didn't get to play left tackle in college. Tell me this, because he was my favorite person in the draft. And he's out there balling out for Cleveland, and they would not let him play left tackle.
It's because Tua was left-handed, so he was the blindside tackle.
Oh, dude, my mind's blown. Anyways, continue. Sorry, my mind's blown. Never thought of it. Blown. That's why I didn't understand. What's his face who for the Bengals who got drafted 2 years ago?
Jonah
Williams.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out why they're gonna everyone has been drafting another stud tackle whatever from Oregon. I was like, but now you're making sense because he's pretty much a right tackle. He played right tackle all through college pretty much. Anyway, sorry, I'm a freak.
Big offensive line show, of course, doing it for the brand, for the culture. Really interested to see how the rest of the season shapes out to be. I mean, I would love to see Texas A&M and Ohio State figure something out and play because that would be a really good game, a good test for Justin Fields and company. I know Ohio State has had some COVID issues, especially with Ryan Day out this past week with COVID. Hopefully, they're supposed to be getting some guys back this week. But if they could figure that out within a day, because, I mean, the thing is, BYU and Coastal could figure it out in an hour or a couple hours. There's no excuses for all these other divisions not to get games done.
All right, so here's my thing. BYU and Coastal played last week because both of their games were canceled. What if Ohio State plays a team whose game isn't canceled this week? They have an opponent already. The opponent is Troy.
They just can't. They have contracts in place though. They couldn't. They wouldn't be able to break the contract.
We'll play you twice next year.
Well, all they do.
All right. Once I
all
say
they
the
do
team
is-
name, you're going to be all in for it. The team I want to play Ohio State is Coastal Carolina.
I don't know if I want that. Listen. I don't know
That
if I
defense
want that.
stinks.
That would be
defense
interesting.
stinks,
I love the
buddy.
defense or how they play, but I don't know. I don't know. Just if they take from the Indiana first half playbook of how they tortured.
That's the only way Coastal is going to get into the college football playoff. They have to
You
beat.
mean throwing?
They have to beat somebody who's top 5.
Cincinnati. If they don't make it happen, bro, I don't know what Cincinnati is doing, but I want Cincinnati in my Final Four. Someone match up with Cincinnati. Someone. They're
They
7 right now?
Well, UCF matched up pretty well for the most part against Cincinnati.
All right, hold
But
on. Let me look at
UCF
the
was
SEC
good.
games this week.
Yeah.
UCF was good. If you watch the beginning of the year,
National championship last year.
All right, UCF has some injuries. Just like I think SMU would be undefeated right now if their best receiver, who was like 3 catches for 256 and 4 touchdowns. I don't know how that's possible. That guy tore his ACL that game. But Reggie Robinson Jr. or something like that. That man right there, I think SMU would have been doing pretty well. But I want to see Cincinnati sneak in. These bowl games are useless. I don't want to watch them. Make it an 8-teamer. Let's get it going.
I'm all for the 18 playoff, like 8 or 10 team playoffs, like especially this year. This is the perfect year to expand the playoffs, especially if this year don't count. That way you can really experiment with it and then
do whatever
how it works out and give that Cinderella team America's team. I'm not talking about Dallas Cowboys. I'm talking about Coastal Carolina, America's team this year. The opportunity to shock the world.
What conference is Cincinnati?
USA?
I think so. I can tell you.
Either USA or American conference.
I honestly thought they were in the mountain or whatever the
It is American. All right. American. Cincinnati's game this week is canceled.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. There's no reason they shouldn't.
But I think Cincinnati's the team I think that had the outbreak.
No. Listen, if the Ravens can play tonight after Des Bryant got pulled on the sideline of day of, we can do whatever we want, bro. Let's be honest.
This man was giving group hugs before the game. And they were like, no close contacts. Play on.
Nah, he's out of here.
And now people wonder why we can wear masks on the sidelines. Like, yo, he tested positive like right before the game. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's crazy.
Like I said,
well, if Cincinnati's the team that had the outbreak, then they're kind of screwed. But if they didn't,
Cincinnati and Ohio State, they should be like a wild card time, like right when those conference.
That is it.
If you don't miss your or like something with the conference championship is crazy going on, find sign contracts to be able to get you against a good team to be able to qualify to get you in there, because then that would make for good college football, better ratings, and more people watching. And
all right, there's like 7 teams that I think could deserve to go into the. I mean, I don't think they're all good enough to be in the playoff, but there's like 7 teams.
Georgia doesn't deserve it. Georgia.
I didn't say Georgia
deserve to be in the playoff.
Alabama.
Okay.
I agree, and I am a Georgia fan.
Notre Dame, Ohio State, Texas A&M.
Yes.
Florida.
And then Cincinnati, Coastal, BYU. That's 8.
I wouldn't. After seeing BYU versus Coastal, I wouldn't put BYU in there. I really wouldn't. And I'm a BYU
you put
fan.
BYU over Florida?
Oh, I forgot about Florida.
I would not put BYU in.
Yeah, pull BYU out.
I would
rather put Kyle Pitts to get that draft stock up, or
Oklahoma State
because I'm trying to get him. We're still trying to get him for Washington.
Better than Brock.
Kyle Pitts and Logan Thomas.
Listen,
Logan Thomas was cooking. What are you talking about?
I said and.
You got Moss, bro. Cut out. You got Moss. That's all you need. He just needs a year to lose some weight, and then he's balling. Stop it right now.
Wait, he got cut. Thaddeus Moss got cut.
Listen, he's on practice squad. I just went through and looked at every practice squad in the NFL. All right,
Is he?
I just did
I
that.
didn't know
I'm
he was
pretty sure he is. All I know is, unless the league is lying to me, I went and read every practice squad because I was trying to see what.
They technically are every Sunday when they're like, no positives. And then every Monday morning, they're like, 47 positives. Just today that weren't there yesterday.
I'm going to two hot takes, and then I'm done with college football personally because I don't really care about it this year. I don't have any stake in it.
We'll move on.
One, Notre Dame can beat Alabama. After watching tons of film on their offensive line, tons of film.
Their offensive line is ridiculous.
Watching that running back and watching him, Liam, whatever, not even going to try to say his last name. Watching them play, they can run the ball for 500 yards against anyone. There's not a defensive line stud on that team. There's not. And their linebackers are great. They're going to go to the NFL and be decent. But they're no Reuben Foster. They're no like the guys they had. And that offensive line gets to the next level and they punish people. This is old school power football. I don't trust Ian Book, so as long as we don't throw the ball like that. But they can run and hold the ball, and that's what I'm afraid for Clemson next in the ACC championship.
There's a big difference though that's going to happen in this ACC championship game, and he's our client, the future number 1 overall pick,
Justin Fields.
No, I'm talking about Trevor Lawrence.
All right, my bad. Sorry.
We're going to petition to make sure that he doesn't go to New York. Jacksonville is not a bad place to go. It's warm all year round. Pretty good weapons. James Robinson.
Oh yeah.
DJ Shark.
They got 2 stud 8-foot tall receivers. I don't know if you know the guy named from Texas.
Colin Johnson.
Colin Johnson's 8 foot.
Who's the other one?
Here. I don't know. Chark 6'4". I would just put big people.
3, but
let's say 6'4", 6'3". They're dunking on me. Let's be honest here. Continue.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know. Trevor Lawrence, I think, is going to make a big difference. I mean, that game came down; it was pretty close to the wire. And I think with Trevor's clutch gene that he possesses from a young age, because as soon as he was born, he had this genes on him that said clutch on him, and he's had it ever since he was a baby. And I think he's going to in the championship environment, he's going to pull it off, and then he's going to finish his Clemson year off and get that ring.
Yeah,
I think he's coming back for another year, dude.
ACC championship ring.
First, you get Trevor back. Second, you get Tyler Davis back, who's Clemson's best defensive tackle. Might get James Skalski back, who's the best linebacker Clemson has. So all 3 of those guys were out last time Clemson played Notre Dame.
Didn't DK get suspended for the first half?
He might have been. I don't know. He's been suspended like
sure on that.
3.5 games this year. I don't know what's going on with him.
Drop those stocks. Drop them. Anyway.
Yes. Panthers in the 4th round.
Field. Hey.
Yeah, so all 3 of those guys should be back, and I think the defense might actually make more of an impact than Trevor Lawrence being back. Because DJ played really well. Like, it's not like we had bad quarterback play.
Future for sure.
But our defense was horrible. So I think getting some guys back on the defense might help even more than having Trevor back. But obviously having Trevor back will be a whole different beast. Like Kyle said, that offensive line is really good. So getting our best defensive lineman back and our most physical linebacker will probably help counter those guys up front for Notre Dame.
What's the Will Venables, right? Is the defensive coordinator?
Brent Venables, yeah.
I don't know, man. He gives me low key Greg Williams vibes. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I don't. The way how his aggressive defenses plays and they're attacking and stuff like that in big games, I feel like he'll get that team ready.
I feel like he plays do your job defense. He's a Mike Zimmer guy to me. Do your job. If you do what I say, we're going to beat them. That's what I feel. When I watch Clemson defense, it's everyone do exactly what I told you to do, and there's no way they can beat us.
Well, I feel like that's like a lot of coaches.
Go
Yeah, the
out,
problem
teammate.
is Clemson's DBs haven't been great this year, especially the safeties.
Are you guys young in the secondary?
Yes, very. Darion Kendrick he might be a senior.
I think he's a redshirt junior, isn't he?
Something like that. He's a converted wide receiver who's only played corner. I think it's only his second year as a corner. But he's our best DB. Andrew Booth is a freshman.
He's good. I think he's good.
He's made some splash plays, but they're both better in man coverage than zone coverage. And none of our other DBs can hold up in man coverage, so we have to play a lot of zone coverage.
They have bad safeties. They have very bad safeties. Very bad safeties.
Yeah, bad angles, bad instincts, bad everything. So yeah, our two best corners we have are man corners, and we play mostly zone because none of our other DBs can hold up in man. So you're taking their biggest strength and not utilizing it. So as a unit, it's been very underwhelming. Add into that, basically young everywhere on that defense. The defense lost a lot. Linebackers also young outside of Skalski, who's I want to say a fifth-year senior. Defensive line, very young outside of Niles Pinkney, who's a fifth-year senior.
You got Kelly on there. He's old in dirt too.
Oh,
right?
Xavier Kelly?
The guy's 90 years old.
Yeah,
he's been there for 20 years.
Yeah, and he could be back next year because this year doesn't count against eligibility. Oh,
Guy's going to be 35.
I'm going to laugh hysterically. I don't know what team it's going to be, but there's going to be a team that has its whole team come back and nobody declare for the draft.
Notre Dame.
And it might be Notre Dame, but it's going to be hysterical.
Yeah. And hopefully it's not Clemson. Fair of Travis Etienne and Trevor, which I highly doubt they're going to get their money. But if that happens, that would be.
Trevor might come back, though. If he really wants to duck the Jets, I'm not saying he does, but if he did, he could come back. The problem with him coming back would be what happens to DJ. So that's why.
To Georgia Tech.
No, you got that stud quarterback. What are you talking about?
Running back. You forgot running back.
You got some good running back.
No, the running back is a stud. The quarterback, he's been called a stud. I'm not as sold on him as the running back. The running back is good.
He got injured last week.
Did he?
Yeah, he had a 70-yard run, and he pulled up on his hamstring. And I don't like seeing that. No one likes him when he pulled up on his hamstring, and he just walked out.
He's only a freshman, though. So he'll be back next year. And then the year after that, he'll be back. And then off to the draft because he's probably only going to be a 3-year guy.
In the 4th round, get a running back. Anyways.
All right.
Georgia Tech stinks.
Yeah, Georgia Tech does stink. Let's move on.
Wait, did you – the first clip CJ played, that was the Hunter guy I was telling you about. Let's go, Georgia. Go,
yeah, brother.
That's the dude I said looks like Hunter. You see it?
Yeah, the white skin. I think it's pretty messed up of you, dude.
Hair at the class. It's just the whole ensemble.
Hunter would never wear his glasses to a football game.
Hunter probably rooted for Georgia at one point when his sister was coaching the softball team. He at least rooted for the softball team. That could have been him at the softball field.
It could have been him
for actually. There you go. It's locked in. It's locked in. It was him at a softball game. Softball won. It's a long day. It was hot out. He was drinking. Then his sister was like, "Hey, I got coach's seats to the game. We're playing South Carolina." And he's like, "I hate South Carolina, and I love that y'all just won softball." So he pulls in. He's gone. They interview him, and he is wild. But they cut out softball.
True.
Glad we got that figured out finally.
All right, so let's go move on to the NFL, and we're going to primetime pylon, and we got your primetime games right here for you. It wasn't a lot of, well, yes, technically you can say there's a lot of primetime games this week. We didn't have a Thursday night game this week, but we did have a Sunday night game,
Two
and
Monday night games and
two
a
Monday
Tuesday
nights,
night.
and the game playing currently right now.
That game is currently 34-17 in favor of the Baltimore Ravens.
Who's winning? Ravens are winning that game?
Yeah, by 17 with 2 minutes left. So they basically won.
Okay. Cowboys got it. Cowboys got that one. Just hold it out.
Okay, so the first game that we're
Anyways,
going to talk
the
about,
Ravens are a disappointment.
oh, for sure. We've canceled them a couple weeks ago on the show. But we'll get to that a little later. The first game we're going to talk about was the Sunday night game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Kansas City took care of business, getting a 22-16 victory over Denver. Kansas City improving to 11-1, and Denver going down to 4-8. Notable stats line that we have here is Drew Lock going for 15 for 28, 151 yards, 2 tutties, and 2 interceptions, while Melvin Gordon did have 131 yards on 15 carries. Tim Patrick, 2 tutties, 4 catches, 44 yards, and Noah Fant, 4 catches, 57 yards. On the
Tim
Chiefs
Patrick
side,
is low-key their best receiver this year.
he's stepped up. He's been stepping up huge since Cortland Sutton went down. Jerry Judy's still finding his way, but I mean, if all 3 of these guys can stay on the same page next year,
Plus they have KJ Hamler.
they got potential.
Yeah, and then the tight
They
end,
got a
they have
fantastic quarterback.
Fant and Albert O.
Oh yeah, I forget about Albert O.
Listen, that team has a lot going for it. That team looks good. They got injured like crazy this year. Just crazy.
Did Von Miller come back this week?
Okay.
He tore his ACL, I thought.
Okay, I think I must have been watching some like highlight from last year then, because I was like tripping. I was like,
No, he definitely said he was close to coming back.
Yeah, I heard that
shot.
comment. I was like, it's no way.
I thought he tore his ACL.
It's either his ACL or
his Achilles.
Yeah.
But if it was the ACL, he might have done it early on, because I think he did it like early training camp back in August, maybe July.
But isn't it 16 months or something like that?
For
I don't know, that's
ACL, it's
ACL.
about
That's
6 to
ACL.
9. 6 to 9 months for ACL. Achilles is definitely 12 to 18 months.
They said he could be back before the end of the season, but he hasn't come back yet.
I doubt it.
JJ Wadding it up.
Yeah. So yeah, he didn't play,
buddy.
but also notable, Travis Kelce had 8 catches for 136 yards and a touchdown, becoming the first tight end ever to have 5 1,000-yard seasons back to back to back to back. Mahomes was 25 of 40 for 318 yards and a touchdown. And Le'Veon Bell led the team in rushing with 11 carries for 40 yards. Yeah. First tight end to ever have 3,000-yard seasons back to back to back is Greg Olsen, in case you were wondering. You probably weren't. But
It wasn't.
we like trivia here and little tidbits, and I got that one for you.
Here's a trivia question for you. How many yards did, I don't know the answer to this, I'm asking you. How many yards did the best tight end in the league have last year? And his name is Darren the Waller.
The best tight end in the league last year was definitely
Greg Kittle.
George Kittle, yes.
Okay.
George
Okay, y'all can say whatever you want, whatever, but it's not true. It's Darren Waller. He's the best tight end in the league.
Oh, he played unbelievable yesterday. Huge game.
It was his first good game of the year.
Yeah, because that team has actually weapons now, and they have to throw to Jerry Jeudy for 80 yards every game.
No,
and he doesn't catch him.
No, they throw the ball to Nelson Aguilar.
I know.
He's actually their best receiver somehow.
Which sounds
Yeah,
weird.
because get out of Philadelphia, you can catch.
Maybe Carson Wentz was the problem the whole time.
He's greasing up the balls. But Tom Brady was deflating it, and Carson Wentz is greasing it up. He likes a fair game.
He's overinflating them. He's like, I hate Tom Brady. Deflated balls? No, thank you. Pump them up.
Pump
So
up.
what do you guys think about? So how do we feel about Kansas City after this week? Pretty much everything we thought, or do we think that Kansas City will coasting a little bit too much and possibly having some challenges coming into the playoffs?
Yeah, it was a division game. Division games are always tough. After watching the Steelers lose to Washington, which we knew they were going to drop a game at some point because they've been playing bad, even though they were undefeated up until this week. I'm still taking Kansas City over Pittsburgh every day of the week in the AFC. NFC, I have no clue who's coming out of the NFC, but they're probably not going to be able to beat Kansas City.
The only team that is built to beat Kansas City is a team that runs the ball and they can hold it for 20 years. That's it.
So the Baltimore Ravens.
That's how the Raiders beat them.
They can't even hold the ball because they fumble like
not even
crazy.
Buddy, you're not watching this game, are you?
To be a power.
They've run the ball for 300 yards.
It's against the
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Team that the Cowboys can beat. Yeah, the only team the Cowboys can beat are the Vikings, and we ran all over them for like 800 yards.
They also beat the Falcons in one of the most iconic moments of the year.
That's with Dak Prescott.
Yeah, that was the onside kick game where they just watched the ball.
Falcons beat us too. They beat our heads in. All right, continue.
Okay, so there's teams right now that stink, right? But they have a lot of talent, such as the Denver Broncos is a team that has a lot of talent. They can get healthy. They can bounce back. I think Vic Fangio's gone after this year. I don't think
I hope not.
You hope he stays?
I think Vic is. I think if they fire him, any team that needs a defensive coach, which who does, it should hire him because he's amazing.
Oh,
I don't care
sure.
what anyone says.
I think their defense has been good. I think the problem has been the offense. So I don't know who the offensive coordinator is there. Obviously, they've dealt with injuries. Drew Lock's been hurt. Cortland Sutton tore his ACL week 2. But I think if they fire anybody, it's the offensive side of the ball, and they bring in a new coordinator.
I think I think their coordinator was last year's. I think it was Pat. I think it's Pat Shurmur, if I'm not mistaken, his office coordinator.
Might be Shurmur.
Yeah, for the Broncos.
Sure?
I feel like.
So how are they running? So as a defensive minded coach, I don't know one that's is okay with you running a spread type offense when you're a defensive minded coach. What team does that?
See, the thing is though, it's like I don't know if it was like the offensive software defensive minded coach, but my thing is though, with my biggest gripe with Fangio is he's struggled with a lot of situational football for that team, wasting timeouts, not using timeouts, which is one thing of leading men, and you should be better at situational. The offensive coordinator, I feel like he could have gone younger and more innovative, especially with the young offense. It's still Pat Shurmur is probably not the answer. Like a young, I don't know, someone that's going to really utilize him, and like Drew Lock, who's it's pretty talented.
Jamie Chadwell.
Jamie Chadwell's office coordinator for Denver Broncos. I'm here for it. That would be awesome. Let's get that bag. Get that bag, Jamie. We're gonna hire. We're gonna try to seek employment from Jamie Chadwell to be his agents to help him to the next level. But I don't know. I just think that Fangio's really misplaced a lot of things, and the thing is, he's been a respected long-term defensive coordinator. And people love him for like his defensive strategies and how well he coaches on the defensive side of the ball. But it's definitely different when you make that jump as a head coach, because you're not just a leader of one side. You focus on both sides, but you also got to be really good in those situational moments. And I think we've seen a lot of defensive coordinators struggle. And also one thing that people don't really notice is that a lot of the special teams coordinators who become head coaches have really thrived strong, such as the John Harbaugh. And I don't want to say it, but he's been doing well. Joe Judge. So like special team coordinators have seemed to be a really good asset as a head coach because they do coach all the like every position group. You got guys who and they're situational, especially with like onside kicks, punting. So I don't know. That's something to look forward to. Maybe that's going to be the next wave, like finding a bunch of young offensive coordinators, and then maybe the next wave is special teams coordinators for our head coach.
I hear what you're saying about Vic Fangio, but who do you think gets fired first, Fangio or Anthony Lynn?
And they might go same day. And as much as I like Anthony Lynn, he has also been very terrible at situational football. Practically gave up on his team last week before they were officially eliminated from the playoffs. I don't know, like he's a good leader of men. He's a great leader of men, but I don't know. I think he's lost the locker room. And I think whenever you lose the locker room, I think it's a wrap for you.
When do you think he lost it? Do you think it was when Herbert started playing and they were like, wow, we were going to play Tyrod over this guy the whole season? Or did it happen at some point after that?
No, I think it happened after that. I think at the beginning of the season, you have like your guys want to win, and you want to go, especially with the short season, they want to go with someone who's at least a little bit more proven. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you see what Herbert has done in a off season, but that especially with no preseason games, it's hard to translate. So like I feel I wouldn't have like if I was a player for that team, I wouldn't have any issue with them going with this like a proven guy over the rookie yet at the beginning, but knowing that it's like he won't be there for like the whole season depending on how the season goes.
The locker room was a Tyrod. That's all the reports. The locker room was a Tyrod. They wanted Tyrod to play. Everyone in the locker room, all the coaching staff. So it was a team decision. Like that was like no one was like forcing him in. And no one was. Everyone thought that Herbert was going to sit. I remember the week Pat McAfee had someone on his show, and they were literally like, "Yeah, the players are waiting for Tyrod to come back." Obviously, that changed when you see what he can do, but the players were waiting for Tyrod to come back.
Yeah,
because he's a leader. That's what they were saying.
Yeah, no, I like Tyrod. I think he got done dirty in Cleveland and Buffalo to some degree. I think he should be starting somewhere.
XFL baby.
No, I think he should
DC
be starting in the NFL.
DC Defenders. Yeah,
let's go. That's my spot. Lifelong DC Defenders fan.
I forgot my fandom. It's been a while. I don't know.
Weren't you a Roughnecks fan?
No, I remember that.
No,
I was.
You
Battlehawks?
Yeah, St. Louis Battlehawks, I think, was your team. Jordan Ta'amu was the quarterback?
I don't know. I feel like Hunter was the Battlehawks fan, and I picked another team, and then y'all beat us. I think I was a Texas. No.
Houston Roughnecks.
I don't know. I think I might have been a Roughnecks fan or a Wildcat.
Dallas Renegades?
I think I was.
It was the Renegades. He was a Renegades fan.
Oh yeah, because they had Jeff Badet on it or whatever his name is. Yeah, I was and they had the LSU quarterback, and then he didn't start week 1.
Oh
yeah,
I was something burger.
Yeah, Zach Mettenberger.
Yeah. That was my team. That was my team. Yeah.
And Donald Parham.
Yeah,
Washington football team legend.
Yeah,
that name sounds familiar. Well, I'm not.
He was a rookie like last year. You guys cut him. He went to the XFL and tore it up. And now he's like the second or third string tight end for the Chargers. And he has like 5 touchdowns this year.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
He's like 6'8".
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know you're talking about. The tall, tall tight end. Dude, I'm telling you, I don't think there's anything wrong with going to the XFL. There's nothing wrong with going to the XFL. I think we got to get rid of the stigma because it was good football. And I think it's just you just need that tape. Like, and it's hard to get tape, especially if they're trying to cut down the preseason, or if you just not enough spots. But you could tear it up in the spring, have a crazy, almost a redraft, like that combine process of really just kind of like really
Well, it's not
show
even
what
a
you can
draft.
do.
It's like a
Not
second
even a
wave of
draft, but
free
some
agency.
evaluation period. Like you need that.
Wasn't there a safety who played in the XFL last year, and he was supposed to be like this safety, and he was a freshman, and he got kicked out of college. I
Yeah,
forgot, he was on some random XFL team.
Kenny
And
Robinson. He
where's
got
he at?
drafted by the Panthers.
yeah. That's why he went to the Panthers.
Is he good? Or is he just too
Uh,
young? He's like 14.
He's like 21, 22. He was on the practice squad for a little bit, but we called him up. He's on the active roster now. He hasn't really played too much.
Like Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon's a good quarterback. No one could see him throw the ball this year. That man can throw the ball. He's Zach Wilson before Zach Wilson. He could throw the. I don't know if he's as smart as Zach Wilson. I'm talking about arm strength. Like if you just look at the arm capabilities now, there's lots. That's all I'm saying. The XFL problem is quarterbacks. There's not 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL. So what do you think we're getting in the XFL?
But we got to poach the talent. That's the thing, though. Like guys, like I think there's some good backups. Like I think, what would you rather be? Would you rather be a good backup in the NFL or a great starter in the XFL?
Money. I'm going with the money. So you're gonna give me that contract, and then I'm gonna go with that because you're gonna tell me I'm not gonna get hit. I have a chance to become a coach in my future.
But what do you want to stardom though? What if you want the fame? You want to actually
then I'm not
have
that
some
good.
type of a legacy.
I'm not that good. If that's
you
what
probably
I'm for,
get. Sorry, go ahead, Kyle.
No. That was my point. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with Kyle. You probably get more money being a backup in the NFL, not getting hit every game.
But yeah, okay. You can choose the money, but I'm saying, like, do you actually want to be known for something? Like if you think about this, if you play in the NFL, if you want to go to the NFL, it means you want to be the best.
Let me put it to you this way: would you rather be PJ Walker, who went to the XFL, balled out, would have been MVP if they had named one, and is now quarterback 2.5 for the Panthers? He floats between quarterback 3 and quarterback 2 week to week. Him and Will Grier flip back and forth. Would you rather be him right now, or would you rather be clipboard Jesus, Charlie Whitehurst, who made a career being holding a clipboard? This man, I'm about to look up his career earnings. I'm pretty sure he made like $18 million.
Actually,
starting like
can I
6
sign up
games.
to be Sam Bradford? Y'all want to talk about money stealing in the NFL? There's a guy named Sam Bradford.
Well, no, he doesn't have a body anymore, so I wouldn't want to be him.
He stole money from every team that he could possibly get on.
Yeah, because of him, he was like the last draft class for the rookie before they started doing the rookie scales, the wages, when it got up to $50 million in your rookie deal.
Listen, he has some of the best talent. No, I'm a Vikings fan, so we have like 4 good quarterbacks. But a healthy Sam Bradford is a top 3 Vikings quarterback of all time. Like, that's sad, but he was pretty good. He brought in Case Keenum.
Case Keenum is good. He is. Yeah, great. I mean, come on. You can't deny what Case Keenum did for the Minnesota Vikings.
Our defense was the number 1 defense. We took the ball away from offenses and put it in the end zone, and we said, hey, can you run a zone scheme and not get sacked? And then the one time we need him to score, we get pummeled. The one time we need him to score, 38-7. And I get tweeted it a lot because the Eagles fans are salty. They won. Right. They won a Super Bowl, and I still get tweets about it.
Charlie Whitehurst has started 9 games in his career. He has made $18 million in his career. That's $2 million per game started.
Listen, I'm not arguing against the money. Yes, but I'm saying if you're a true competitor, someone who wants to have a legacy and to like actually do something with your career, like why not give yourself the chance to be one of the being this urban legend of like one of the best football players to not be in the NFL or to at least win championships, get some notoriety to your name so you can get ad dollars that can make money for it. And then you can give yourself a better chance to actually start in the NFL versus just holding a clipboard.
Yeah, but an
isn't that-
XFL championship is like this year's NBA championship. It doesn't count.
It actually counts as 2 of them. It's way harder. Anyways, but isn't hey, time out though. You're saying that if you're super competitive, you would play in the XFL. But aren't you? If you're super competitive, you think you can start in the NFL? That's literally giving up on yourself and don't well, I'm not good enough here. That's like Cardell Jones. You didn't see Kyle Slaughter, who thinks he can start in the NFL right now. He's he's on Twitter telling the Bears to start him.
It's pretty funny.
He will not go play in the
It's
NFL
even more
because
funny that he's not wrong. That he is better than their quarterbacks.
He is. I think he's like undefeated in preseason. But if you're competitive and you have that drive, you think you can start for an NFL team. You're not going to be like, well, it sucks. I'm going to go play in B League, D League. It's not like the NBA.
That's giving up on your dreams.
It's like to go to the XFL. It's not. You're literally putting out tape and giving yourself more opportunity. Like I'm saying, like literally, like, you can be there.
Step back.
Even if it's a step back, sometimes you got to take a step back to make a giant leap forward. And if you really think about it, you can get yourself good tape, get better coaching, work on your fundamentals in meaningful games. Like think about this. You're practicing. You're pretty much a practice squad player and hoping for the opportunity if your starting quarterback got hurt. But and plus, the XFL is in the spring anyway.
Well, it's going to be different for every player.
Yeah, yes. Like Sean Mannion. Sean Mannion is a number 2 quarterback on 30 different teams. He's never going to go to the XFL because he's better than them. He's better than anyone in the XFL starting quarterback-wise. He would go and be decent. He would be a franchise XFL guy.
Well, why not? You can be the guy who gets that top XFL money.
But yeah,
$6 the face of that franchise, especially as it grows.
He's making $2 million to hang out with Kirk Cousins, which is probably still underpaid. But would you do that or get beat to death by teams who don't care about you? They actually left you in a hotel and said, "Oh, you have a torn ACL? Well, COVID's happening. Please get out."
Yeah, I mean, you get paid much less money in the XFL.
40 grand. 40 grand.
Well, for quarterbacks, it's like $100K. It's like 75 or $100K for quarterbacks.
Okay, but still, that's like a game check for a backup NFL quarterback.
Yes. Okay. Listen. You're just talking about the money. I'm literally talking about an opportunity to be that starting quarterback.
I get it, but what I'm saying is you got to factor in like the salary to injury thing. If you're in the NFL and you sign a contract for like $600K guaranteed, and you get hurt week 1, like okay, you're still gonna get that $600K.
And what better?
If you sign a $600K contract in the XFL, that's like your full year salary. You get hurt week 1, you get your $40K for that week, then you're out on the street. Your health care is on your own, your rehab's on your own, and it's coming out of that $40K.
All right, CJ, how big are you? How tall are you right now?
Depending on what we're talking. Are we talking about Tinder or are we talking about real life?
But on Tinder, I'm
let's do Tinder. We're talking about an NFL. Let's do Tinder. How tall are you?
Tinder 6'2".
All right, you're 6'3". I got you. You're 6'3", buddy. I saw you. You're real tall. I saw you. But with cleats on, you 6'3", right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
With the hair now
All
too,
right.
maybe 6'4".
You got the helmet on too now too. There's a little bit.
6'5".
So you played. You're Kyle Hinton. You're from some school that I couldn't name. I don't know what state it's from. You get drafted in the 7th round of the draft. You played tackle in college, but you're 6'3", so you're going to play guard. Now you get a call and you get cut. You're on practice squad. You're making week checks, practice squad. You get a call from XFL. You're now the premium guy, right? What's better, those snaps in front of an NFL offensive line coach who drafted you, or the snaps that they have on film against trash that they also did draft? What's better film?
Honestly, XFL film, man. I just think it's just more meaningful. Because in terms of like all these guys, think about these guys who are in the XFL, right? All the people who are in the XFL are people who want to be the NFL. So they're going to be the grind and hunger is a lot,
But that's what I'm saying. These are people who want to be in the NFL. If they have a chance to be in the NFL, why would they turn that down to go to the XFL?
Well, because if you're going to get like no positioning, like Would you rather just be a third stringer and then because you can literally just get caught in the shuffle and be out of the NFL in 2 or 3
Yeah,
years?
that's why I'm saying I don't think it's going to be like rookies, first year players. It's going to be like third, fourth, fifth year players who were on a team, on a practice squad, could never really get any snaps, but they've been in the league, but they didn't get a chance to put any snaps out. Those are the guys that are going to go back to the XFL, get some tape out, and then try to get a chance to catch on the team and actually start.
Yeah, like Storm Norton. Storm Norton sat on the Viking practice squad for 13 years. He went and became a stud in the first year of the XFL. He was a left tackle for the Wildcats. Now he's on the real roster for the Chargers. That's the only trajectory for the XFL. Or people who are suspended, who smoke weed, who I need money for my family. I don't have time to go to Alabama to play football. I'm gonna go play 1 year, get paid $30,000, have my shit covered, get tape, and go to the NFL. That's the only XFLs are one and done. They're college basketball programs. That's what I want to see. I want to see DJ. Say Trevor comes back, right? DJ's in his first year. All of a sudden, he gets a call. Oh, hey, that's the Tampa Vipers. Do you want to go ahead and play for me? I used to go to South Carolina, and then he comes down there, lights it up, and then
that was an excellent Steve Spurrier impersonation.
I'm glad you knew who I was talking about. And then now he gets in the NFL. It has nothing to do with people proving anything or making some legacy. It's literally them, and I don't have a problem with it.
You literally just said like you said, he tears it up, builds a legacy for himself to be able to get that his draft capital and to be able to.
Well, yeah, it's the same as playing in college though, but you get to get paid. That's why I'm saying it's going to be different. You play there until you have a chance to go to the NFL. Once you have a chance to go to the NFL, you're going to want to take that chance.
Yeah.
Even if it's just as a practice squad guy, it's so hard to turn that down because you don't know if it's ever going to come again. Even if you do tear up the XFL, there's no guarantee an NFL team's going to come back and say, hey, we want you. Because they're going to say, hey, we offered you a chance last year, and you said no. Why should we offer you a chance now?
Because you can get pigeonholed into a certain way, and then you want to reshape the way people look at you.
You can, but that's what I'm saying. It's people who want to reshape, not people who are getting a chance to go into the league. To me, the XFL is going to be, like Kyle said, for college guys who don't want to stay the full 3 years and they want to go get paid somewhere before they're able to declare for the NFL draft, like a Kenny Robinson. Or it's guys who have been in the NFL for maybe
that's what I'm saying.
a year, 2 years, 3 years
in the league, who trying to give himself another opportunity to play. Why not?
And that's what you're saying. Then we all agree. But what it feels like you're saying is, I'm a quarterback. I can't make it in the NFL, so I'm going to go play in the XFL. I'm Johnny Manziel, and I'm not good enough for the NFL. Now I'm going to go and play in the CFL and hopefully win. Because there's still no shot if I win that I'm going back to the NFL because I stink. That's what it sounds like you're saying. You're saying that they would rather take a legacy over a guaranteed check. That's what
or
it feels like.
It sounds like you're saying, like, I'm an undrafted quarterback. The New Orleans Saints offered me they offered to sign me to the offseason. So there's no like definite the offseason roster. So there's not a definitive yes, I'll be on the 53-man roster once the season starts. But the XFL offered me a chance to be on the starter. So I can go start in the XFL or take my shot in the NFL. Which one are you doing at that point?
I'm taking the start in the XFL.
Okay, see, I disagree. That's where I disagree. I
you don't have to agree
for every player.
You don't have to agree. But I just think that you get an opportunity to show.
Yeah, we don't have to agree. Me and Kyle will be right, and you can be wrong.
See, that's the thing. It's not even like that. But it's cool though. But we'll move on from this topic. Obviously, you guys are in the wrong, but
hey, I just think that your fans, that are the XFL fans that have been waiting for this topic, They're coming, and I'm so glad that we entertained the 6 people who care about the XFL.
Dude, I'm telling you,
I'm so
XFL's
sorry.
gonna be huge, especially with The Rock taking over. Like everything he
I
touches,
agree.
to go.
But it needs to be rebranded 100%. Those teams stink. The DC Defenders, the last.
It's because they wouldn't play Tyree Jackson. They kept playing Cardale Jones.
No. Listen. The logo stink.
Oh, well,
The
DC
team
Defenders
stink.
logo's fire.
No. That was my exception. DC Defender, good professional logo. Now, Tampa Vipers or whatever their name, terrible colors. Whoever did that should be fired. Vince McMahon, so glad he sold it. The Fleet is better than any team name with a ship, and I forgot the name of that league. The Fleet is better. The LA Wildcats with some trash logo that looks like it's trying to be the Predator. They need rebranding, and I think The Rock knows branding should go in there. Don't make it some. It's completely owned by The Rock now, so every team is owned by him, and it's paid out. That can't be a thing. That
I don't
puts
think
the
it's
player's
completely owned
pocket.
by him. I think
Well,
he was
it's
just
an ownership group, but
No,
yeah,
no.
he owns every single team.
He owns every team.
Yeah, that was the model that
everything.
Vince McMahon did. Yeah,
That's not good. That's not good for the players because it just isn't. No one's getting paid like that. And then the branding stinks. It's terrible. Anyway, DC Defenders is good though. I'll give it that.
all right, let's continue on the prime time. I don't know how we did y'all so far. Okay, so Sunday night game, and then we had Monday night game, a doubleheader of Monday night games. We had Washington beating Pittsburgh 23-17, and we had Buffalo beating San Francisco 34-24. I will start off by saying very proud of my team for this victory. Defense is very relentless. I love the way we play on defense. Offense has always been what pisses me off all season long. It sucked that we lost Antonio Gibson early in the game. Hopefully he's okay. But we're doing enough to score points. 20 points is not going to be, or 23 points is definitely not going to be enough points constantly to keep scoring each week to be able to win. I mean, if your defense plays the way it does, maybe, but I just don't like how our offense flows constantly. But we're winning games, and I can't be too mad. Big test against San Francisco this week on a short week, which both teams have a short week, so it's not going to be too much of a disadvantage for either team. But especially with the way San Francisco plays, San Francisco's a very tough team, and they're healthy now. Not like completely healthy. They still have George Kittle and Garoppolo back, but I mean, with what they got now, they're still a very dangerous team.
Yeah, that's because Nick Mullins is better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
I don't know about that.
Garoppolo stinks.
They play more as
Beathard
well.
stinks also.
I don't know. Whenever Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy,
Right.
they went to the Super Bowl. So I mean, you can't knock that. So,
Are you a Washington fan? Are you a Washington fan?
I am.
What do you think the problem with the offense is?
Oh, Scott Turner.
No, the problem is not enough Logan Thomas.
Oh,
Logan Thomas had 9 catches this week, and they won. Coincidence? I think not.
Is it a identity problem? Because I feel like y'all have this weird offense that I don't know what y'all want to do. Do y'all want to isolate Terry McLaurin? Do you want to run the ball down people's throats? Do you want to have a strong blocking? What do you want to do?
They want to run the ball. Ron Rivera's philosophy is run the ball and stop the run, and you win games because he's stuck in the 80s.
So why is he running this West Coast passing offense?
it's not even like
It's West Coast.
It's an Air Corral offense. Quote, that's what it's supposed to be. And it's supposed to be this. This is what the vision that Scott Turner was selling before the season. It's going to be an Air Corral offense where it's going to be a lot of downfield passing, up-tempo offense that he wanted to run. And then he uses a lot of running backs, multiple running back sets, running back in the slot and in the backfield, which is like, okay, that's why I see us getting these dual threat running backs in the offseason, and which turned out to be doing swing passes to J.D. McKissick every down because no other wide receiver can get open, which is annoying. But we threw the ball way too often to start off with, not enough balance. And I've been on the show, I said that we need to run the ball more. As soon as we run the ball more, we start winning games.
All right, now you sound like Ron Rivera.
Well, I'm not saying dominate sure run the ball, but you can't throw the ball 50 times with the lack of weapons that we have on our offense. It just
obviously you don't throw the ball 50 times to try to win unless you're losing. But
you have a stud receiver, like a top 5 guy that I would lock in on any team. He's a top 5 guy. I'm sold. Scary Terry is a top 5 guy to me. I'm sold. You know that. I'm sold.
Is he better than Diggs? Of course, you're going to say yes.
I don't know.
You hate Diggs.
Stephon Diggs?
Top 3. I think Diggs.
Kyle hates Diggs.
I don't hate Diggs. I don't hate him. I think it's a win-win-win, like we talked about earlier. But don't you have to get the ball into your hands of your dog? You got to.
Yeah, you do. I mean, that's what they've been doing most of the season. But at the same time, it's easy to double him and just have a safety over the top and to show him that which Pittsburgh did that. And the thing was been our crutch all season is the fact that we haven't had a guy who can also catch the ball to alleviate that safety over the top for Terry for him to be able to get more passes. And that's where we did see the emergence of a Logan Thomas and Cam Sims.
But don't you feel like Antonio Gibson is the pass catching back that the Panthers have? He is tier 2 Christian McCaffrey.
He should be, but
they drafted him to be that Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, they use J.D. McKissick as that, but they run the ball with more with Antonio Gibson, which I'm okay with. But I think you got to also know that like you have to be more diverse with both of them catching out of the backfield and running the ball, and it's hard to, really see what's going to happen because as soon as you see J.D. McKissick get motioned out at wide receiver, it's going to be a swing pass or slant every single time. Like the offense is very predictable, and I said, in theory, this offense should be really nice. And I get we don't have a lot of weapons, but at the same time, I feel like with a lot of disguising, you can really get guys open easily, especially out the backfield. But then it's like we got to be able to push the ball downfield as well. So it's just. I know it's a first-gen offense. We are, lacking.
You need an athlete. You need a true athlete. So you have Terry McLaurin, that's a receiver, and I don't call number one that are going to be ball hungry. I don't call these guys athletes because where they're going to line up. The defense knows where they're going to line up, and it's going to be like, here we go. You have a running back that's coming into his shoes. He just got hurt, so you didn't see him. But who's your sweep guy? Who's your we run a quick go-to, and hopefully he gets a. Who is that guy?
That's J.D. McKissick.
Antonio Gandy Golden.
No, we got him. His name is Jamar Chase. You take it. I'm joking. Anyways, that was the whole point of that. But okay, so you have this problem with your offense, right? You don't really need defensive spot. Ruben Foster ever plays football, ever plays it. Your defense is solid for years to come.
Well, no, I don't know about that. Our safeties stink. And
one guy
Cameron Curl's good.
Oh, Cameron Curl's good. No, don't get me wrong. Cameron Curl's good.
So was DeShazer Everett.
He's all right. They're both strong safeties.
The rookie was Cameron Curl.
Yeah, Cameron Curl's the 7th round. Oh yeah, 7th round pick.
What happened to Troy Pike or whatever his name is? I don't know if I'm saying that right.
He got hurt.
He runs like a 4.2, by the way. That guy's super fast.
He's fast.
He can run. He's still worth the Deion Sanders.
Week 1, I was watching him hit. I was like, oh shit! I was like, damn, this man's making football violent again. He's wearing that what's his face hat.
What's your boy?
I can't think of his name right now. Sendejo. Sendejo.
Yeah, Andrew Sendejo.
Yeah, because you got 2 safeties out. Right? You have 2. Well, you have your biggest safety, box safety, completely out. So who are you drafting? You get a cornerback early? Why? You'll have to. So if you're fixing that offense, what is if you're gonna fix it, y'all should be contenders next year, right?
Quarterback?
Is it no? Hold on. Who is the one? This is what I like to look at when I look at teams. If you can make one free agent move, that's draft anyone you could. And what are you taking to put your team over the top? And what is it?
Allen Robinson and Kyle Pitts.
That's 2, but I'll take it. And I agree with that.
Sign Allen Robinson, draft Kyle Pitts.
Who's your quarterback next year? Alex Smith again?
Probably.
I'm thinking that he's good enough to win. So Alex Smith is good enough to win the East. And if your defense is that good, you pound the rock and then get Allen Robinson the ball. I agree with that move. I wasn't thinking that.
Like Allen Robinson and Terry McLaurin could be the best wide receiver duo. And then Kyle Pitts, put him in the slot and like line up with these 2 tight end sets. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be not like 2 tight end, 2 running back sets to really just give you guys weapons. And I think that's the thing about this offense. You like you said, athletes. We need guys who are versatile to do multiple things, which makes it hard to understand, to figure out who's going to do what and give everyone the same roles instead of literally just, we know J.D. McKissic's going to do this, so eventually we're just going to put someone out to the flat, Tampa to cover 2, have someone in the flat to guard him. So I just think it needs more variations.
I think that y'all are team trade back. Sorry, I'm a big draft guy. I paid into the Panthers. I paid into Washington. I also paid for my team. I think y'all are team trade back if you want to be competitive now. If you want to waste your defense, go get a quarterback.
They should have traded back last year.
No.
Yes, Chase Young is a stud, but they already had.
No, bro. Shut the fuck up. That's the worst bad take. Worst take of the day.
It's not
that defense elite. No. That defense is now top 4 defense in the NFL because you added a true stud. And what else was good in the draft that they could have took last year?
Bro, you can't pass up on a generational talent like him. Like you just can't.
For 4 years, I would say 3. You're gonna waste 3 years of paying him nothing. 3 years. Then you're gonna want a contract, but you're gonna get a top 5 defense.
You got to look at their roster right now.
For 3 years. You can't say no.
Their defensive line is the best position group by far, but they're all on rookie deals right now. So you're going to have to pay all of them, like, in the next 3 years.
So you have to win now. You're just agreeing with me. You have to win now or you're going to be set back.
They're not in a position to win now, though, because they still have so many holes. They have a defensive line, Terry McLaurin.
The offense.
And that's about it.
They need a receiver, which is coming up.
We need a receiver and a tackle.
They need a receiver, a tackle, which there's a lot of tackles. There's also some free agents that are going to be coming off this year. They can go get Riley Reef. Right now, they go get Riley Reef next year, pay him money, right? So they get Riley Reef, they get Allen Robinson, and they draft a weapon. Now their offense is ready to go, right? Now their offense is going to hold the ball, and then they have explosive plays, right? You got a big possession receiver with Allen Robinson. You got an explosive receiver. Dude, their defense can hold anyone. Anyone. Now they might want to bring in another corner. I don't know how great their
Ronald Darby's
safe. Like 2 good ones.
We need another corner.
That team is ready to go.
Actual free safety. I think all of our safeties are really strong safeties, and really kind of have to play. Like Troy Apke might be the only real free safety. Huh?
Bring Anthony Harris home. He played Virginia Tech, I think. He was a Hokie, I think. Bring him home. There you go. $11 million a year.
That's the thing. Safety's been the position for Washington since Sean Taylor's passed, rest in peace, that we've been struggling with to be able to have. Like it's literally a rotating door that we've had at the safety, especially the free safety position. Like Landon Collins is okay. I mean, with him turning his Achilles, he's probably going to come back. People are talking about possibly playing linebacker next year, which I mean, pretty much what he's done.
Harrison Smith.
Harrison Smith is great. I would love to have Harrison Smith on there.
He's Harrison Smith, but not as good. He's Harrison Smith, but not as good. He's a box safety.
Oh, Harrison Smith is probably one of the best safeties in the league.
Yeah. He's a box safety, though, let's be honest here. I'm a Harrison Smith fan. What do you mean? That's my 3rd favorite player in our defense.
Who's okay?
DJ Warren. It's Eric Kendricks and Hunter than it's Harrison Smith.
Oh yeah, Daniel Hunter.
Daniil.
But yeah, I think we're a team that we're close. I think we're truly like 2 good years away to be actually a legit contender. I think with the way our team is built and constructed, we'll be fierce and we'll be a fierce team the next couple of years. There's definitely some big holes for sure. Like definitely solidifying the offensive line. I think we need to get younger, and also a safety. And like we just need like one to 2 more weapons on offense, a safety, and a corner. And I think we could compete again next year easily.
All right, Sheriff is a free agent. You paying him
Y'all
this year?
should be favorite.
Yeah, for sure. They're gonna pay him this year.
So you're paying Sheriff. So you can't afford another tackle.
No shot.
We have the second highest
Exactly.
from next year, so we have money. I think we have like over.
Okay, so you just did the Kirk. You just Kirk Cousins Brandon Sheriff though. Do you understand that? Why would he sign a contract with you when you have paid $18 million, like to pay next year? Why would he do that?
Well, he wanted to see how everything's going to play out with the new regime this year. Is why he stayed. But I mean, I could see us moving on from him, which I don't know if will be.
You got the 5th most cap space next year.
But the problem is you paid him, you tagged him, right?
Yeah.
Why would he make a deal that he gets less than $18 million next year? I think his cap will be $18 million. Why would he take less than that? You're gonna give him 15 for 3 years and then he'll might take it.
I mean, if it depended on the guaranteed money, like you can get a more front loaded.
If he's not gonna get guaranteed $18 million, he's not signing.
We'll see.
No, that's 100%.
You Kirk Cousins him. You Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, if he's not going to get more guaranteed money on the, and even if he is, why would you take that? You can take, let's say you offer him like 4 years, $60 million, so $15 million a year. You offer him $25 million guaranteed. He's going to say, okay, but if you tag me, I get $18 million guaranteed this year, and then I can go get that 25 guaranteed next year and get 43 million guaranteed over 5 years instead of 25 over the next 4. So you have
team offensive linemen get paid.
Yeah, so he's going to get paid by someone. It probably won't be you.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
You could always try to tag and trade him.
That's what you have to do, and that's exactly what the Patriots have to do with what's his face. I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. Yeah, Toomey.
But
anyway, what about the Panthers? What did they do this week?
I don't think Panthers played this week.
Yeah, we want to buy. We did have 8 players added to the COVID list today, though. That was fun, including DJ Moore.
They were on a bye. That's why. Yeah.
Let's talk about Minnesota and Jacksonville. Do you think
what do you want to talk about?
Do you think that Minnesota can sneak their way in to a playoff spot if they win out? What do you? Because if they win out, they get 10-6.
So, I don't know if you pay attention to Minnesota sports, but the most Minnesota sports thing that can possibly happen is we back into the playoffs, right? We back in. We either get first round exited, or we go play the Saints and beat them at home. Because that happens. So, and then we lose in the second round. So we get like the 22nd draft pick. All the good players are gone, and we don't get better. That is what's gonna happen.
Justin Jefferson last year late.
He's
22.
At 22, yeah.
But whose fault is that?
The Eagles for taking Jalen Reagor.
Who is the wide receiver that you took over JJ right now? Maybe you kind of like CeeDee Lamb.
T. Higgins.
But every team that drafted a receiver,
he was the second round.
Every team that drafted a receiver, because he didn't make an operation, but
he's better.
But Justin Jefferson,
exactly. He's Clemson fans. You can't talk to them. I'm in a group chat with people, and I post something about AJ, and they just here's T Higgins. That wide receiver 6. No one's covering him. It's kind of weird. Anyways, I like T Higgins, but no one's covering him. To be honest. But the Vikings, we're in trouble. We have to pay a lot of people. Not right now, but like a year and a half. Daniil Hunter apparently wants to get paid more than he's already getting paid. We don't have a defensive line. We don't have cornerbacks. We don't have an offensive line. And we're going to make the playoffs.
You think they're going to make the playoffs this year?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my team.
They're going to make the playoffs as of right now.
What is their ranking in the wild card?
They're mega.
They're the seventh team in the NFC.
We're 7. We're 7. And then the Cardinals are behind us.
Correct.
Cardinals are just. I got a hot take about the Cardinals.
If the Cardinals lose out, we go. If we beat Tampa this week, we're the 6th seed. We're locked. We're pretty much locked. Then we got the Bears.
Because you would jump them for the 6th seed. They're the 6th seed right now.
Yeah, and so then we have the Bears again. They might beat us. It is at home, but they might beat us. We stink again. We beat the Bears this once, but I don't know if we're gonna do it again. We got the Lions, who stink. We got and then we got Saints on Christmas. So if we go 2-2, right?
That's 8-8.
We should make it. We should.
I've been telling you you're gonna go 8-8 since before the season started.
Yeah, I was hoping that we would, actually try to lose, but that didn't happen. But I can see us beating Tampa for some reason. I don't know why. So I can see us
because Tom Brady stinks. That's why.
But we don't have anyone to cover anyone. Mike Glennon lit us up with. Well, he actually did. I don't know. It's weird. Looking at that team, it looks like we got lit up, but Cam Dantzler had a 93 PPF rating, whatever. Pro Focus,
he's probably going to cover Mike Evans this week.
No, I don't want to see that. I don't want to.
Why? He's the best corner you have for Mike Evans.
Jeff Gladney on Godwin.
Yeah, would you rather have Jeff Gladney on Mike Evans?
Yeah, go ahead and watch. Go ahead and put the DK Metcalf tape and see how that works. It's not good.
Who was covering DK Metcalf?
Mike Hughes, 5'10", covering him. Honestly,
all your receivers are 5'10" except for
Cam Dantzler.
That's why Dantzler has to cover Mike Evans.
Chris Boyd's 6'1". Do I want him on the field? No.
Chris Boyd
is 6'1". Yeah. Holden Hill is 6'2", but that man can't play football because he likes weed and drugs and not be good. So that's 3 reasons why you won't be in the NFL.
Well, weed's getting ready to be off the banned substance list.
It is off, but if you're in a protocol, you're still in it, and that's his problem. Because he is in protocol, he has to test for weed, which is stupid. But it's just because he's already in it.
That is stupid.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh no, you can finish your thought.
Vikings are in a weird position where we're stuck with Kirk Cousins for either this is his last year or he's 2 years, $45 million guaranteed in 2022. We need an offensive line. We need probably another wide receiver. And
what? You still got Justin Jefferson on a rookie deal, plus you have Adam Thielen you just re-signed.
And
then we have no one else.
Chad Beebe?
Yeah, Chad Beebe. Yeah, he's 5'8". We don't have any other receivers.
You just need 2.
We have 2. Oh, is that all?
Bring Laquan home. COVID? Bring Laquan home.
Adam Thielen gets COVID. Adam Thielen.
He came back last week.
Adam Thielen gets COVID, and all of a sudden, it's who can we throw out on the field? We need
you got
a
Beastie
end,
Johnson.
Probably. We have too many high-end needs.
Ola Beastie.
Who did you just say?
Beastie Johnson.
That guy is not good. Yeah, listen, I thought he was going to be good, but he is very underwhelming. He had like 9 pressures last week against the decent Jaguars line. DJ Wanham looks good, but it's flashes. Daniil Hunter not playing. We don't have a defensive tackle at all. Samar Stephen stinks. He should not be on my team.
You got Brandon Zylstra back if you want.
You know, skinny Adam Thielen.
Yes. We'll give you Zylstra for
I don't know.
Garrett Bradbury. Call it a day.
That seems like a good fair, like a top 3 center in the league for a practice squad player. I like it. It's pretty good.
He's not
But
a practice squad player. He's on our active roster.
Yeah, practice squad. Anyways,
he's our
my
fourth
one
receiver.
Move for the Vikings. My one move for the Vikings right now, that the only way we get better, because we can't get a quarterback where we're at, is if we go get a top-tier interior offensive lineman. We cut Dakota Dozier and find another person that doesn't suck and put him in guard. Go get, I don't know, Dakota stinks.
Who's playing
Ezra's
left tackle for
good.
you next year then?
So, hot take, if you're a Vikings fan actually watching this is my hot take. I think we should move we should move O'Neal to left tackle, which we were going to do this offseason. Let Ezra play right tackle, draft a guard, and we're pretty good. I think that's pretty good. They were going to move
I think
him already.
O'Neal stinks at left tackle, though, and that's why they won't move him.
They were going to.
Yeah,
When
but
we
then
were
he
cutting
stunk, so they're like, yeah, we're going to go back to right tackle.
We were we were cutting. We had it in practice. There's a picture I lined up. It has O'Neal as left and some Oregon State tackle because it was like a Veterans Day off or whatever. So we just had some random guy at right tackle. But if Riley Reef didn't want to take that pay cut, it was going to be Brian O'Neal, Pat Elflein, Garrett Bradbury. Alexander Connor, Aviana Collins, or Stinky Dakota Dozier, and probably Ezra or Rashad Hill at right tackle, which is probably going to be Rashad Hill.
What about Udo?
But I think that we should move Ezra since he's playing. I think we should play guard. I think we draft a guard this year, right?
What about
we
Udo?
Guard, we move Udo to a guard. Yeah, move Udo to a guard.
Why don't you just leave him at right tackle?
We have a big 6'4" offensive line. The smallest guy is going to be.
All right, move O'Neal to left tackle.
I don't want
to right
Ezra as a
tackle.
guard. He's 6'6", man. He can move.
All right, good. He can pulling guard. Udo shut down. Who was it? Khalil Mack?
He's our best guard in like 20 years, but I want him. Khalil Mack. Yeah. He should be playing guard. They need to move him in. Matter of fact, this week, if you're a Bucs fan, if Brett Jones isn't starting over Steve Dakota Dozier, we're trying to lose. Anyways, that's my take. The Vikings are in trouble. We can barely beat anyone. But we keep winning.
But you're going to make the playoffs.
Worst news ever.
Speaking of teams who are not trying to win, how do we feel about the Buffalo Bills and their win over San Francisco? Do you think that Buffalo will be able to keep their lead over a surging Miami Dolphins? What do you think, Kyle?
What I don't know the Bills' rest of the record, but I do think the winner is going to really – I think the cold weather home games just says the Bills are going to camp it out and get there. I think they should switch to Moss.
They're 9-3 right now, and they play the Steelers this week, the Broncos the week after that, the Patriots, and then the Dolphins is who they close it out with.
I'm going to predict 2-2. They lose to one team in their division and the Steelers, and that's what I predict.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to root for the Dolphins. I just like how that team is playing together. Tua's playing well. Defense is playing hard. The team's playing for together. Brian Flores is ready to fight. Coaches and players. Doesn't matter who it is. They definitely will have a good battle going into it. Miami also has a very tough schedule as well. I believe Miami plays like the Raiders, the Chiefs,
Patriots.
and the Patriots, and the Bills to close out.
Who Miami does?
Yeah, but Miami, I think right now is what 8-4.
Yeah, they are 8-4, and they play Chiefs on the 13th, Patriots on the 20th, Raiders the day after Christmas, and the Bills January 3rd.
So that's a
Is it home or away for the Bills?
I think it's a home game
At the Bills.
At Bills.
Home against the Chiefs, home against the Patriots, at the
Bills
Raiders, at the Bills.
Beat the Raiders, beat the Patriots, split with the Patriots 1-1. They lose to the Bills, they lose to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I can agree with that. We'll see. I'm excited. Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen. To kind of get into our pile on standouts, you got to give one of the top performances this week to Josh Allen for what he did yesterday. Let me pull up his stats.
I got you. Hang on.
He's the heart of that team.
I got it.
He's
Josh
really
Allen,
the heart of that team. I don't care. Good.
Josh Allen going 32 for 40 for 375 yards and 4 tutties, 0 interceptions, 6 carries for also 11 yards rushing. I mean, pretty good performance. Getting 7 different receivers involved with Stephon Diggs, 10 catches for 92 yards,
and Cole Beasley, 9 catches, 130 yards, and a touchdown. He went
definitely
off.
had his favorite receivers for sure. And he's just grown. He's continuing to grow. He had a little bit of a slow streak after he got super hot, but can he continue this into the playoffs? That's going to be really interesting to see for sure.
Yeah.
Also, a surprising win this.
Like I said, Josh Allen is the heart of this team.
Mm-hmm.
As long as he. Sorry.
Keep going.
Josh Allen is the heart of this team. As long as he's playing up, they're gonna win. He embodies the Bills. Everything about him. A cold weather quarterback who's gritty. As long as you don't try to throw the ball back 15 yards for the game, I think we're good. I think that they have a shot to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. I like the Bills. I like that they added Stephon Diggs. And he does something that no Viking quarterback ever did, and that's throw him the ball. Give Diggs a chance. He gives Diggs a chance.
Yeah, as we saw, was it last year in the playoffs? Josh Allen is not afraid to take his shots to fullbacks who are triple covered 40 yards down the field. Or Stephon Diggs. I know which one I would rather throw to. And apparently Josh Allen does too. I haven't seen him throw to a fullback yet this year. But he didn't have Stephon Diggs last year, so it makes sense.
And a good thing too is that having even like when you get like Josh Allen help, you see him with the weapons, he's actually utilizing them and actually getting them the ball. Like you see a lot of times where quarterbacks, they get some help, but then they still aren't able to, okay, he just needed a wide receiver, he just needed more help, and then you give him help and he's still not producing. We're seeing Josh Allen producing this year, which is good to see for Buffalo. And I mean, he should be getting the Brinks truck backed up to his house within a year or so. If this play continues, he keeps elevating his game every year since he's gotten into the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It frustrates me seeing
AFC is so tough.
a player that was compared to Cam Newton the whole time he was in the draft, um, having this kind of success, because I just know people are going to say, if he had this success, why couldn't Cam have it? It's because the Bills are actually smart about how they're handling him. They drafted a left tackle in Deion Dawkins early second round. They traded up for him, and then paid him. They signed John Brown in free agency. They signed Cole Beasley. They drafted Gabriel Davis from UCF, the rookie this year. And they traded for Stephon
And he's
Diggs.
fast. He's a fast man.
So
They could have had Jefferson, though. Come on now. Is that good? Is that a good GM?
Yes. I would much rather he was the Panthers GM right now than Marty Herney. Because Marty Herney belongs on a gurney because he is dead to me. He stinks.
Okay.
Hold on. My earpods died for a minute. Give me a second.
Ooh, AirPods flexing on us. He about to come out with the AirPod Pros or the AirPod Maxes in a week.
So a couple more games, and then we'll get into the trash run. Games that I really want to take note of is the Giants upsetting the Seattle Seahawks, which is honestly very surprising. I didn't expect this at all. I don't think anybody in America expected the Giants to upset the Seattle Seahawks.
Washington legend Colt McCoy.
Yeah, Texas legend. The real question is: are the Seahawks for real, and are the Seahawks in jeopardy of losing the NFC West to the Rams?
It depends on the. I gotta see who the Rams play. I know they play the Patriots, which is a Super Bowl rematch from 2 years ago, which the Patriots completely shut down the Rams' offense. And that could happen again because Bill Belichick is an evil mastermind. So Patriots and Rams are the Thursday night game this week. And then the Rams also play the Jets, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals. So they have
interesting schedule.
2 division games.
An easy dub.
And an easy dub, yes, because the Jets are tanking.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. It should be interesting. I think
the Jets win now, you know?
What was that?
I think I was talking to somebody off camera. So.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I would say the Rams are in just because of Sean McVay and how well he's been keeping that team. That defense is pretty legit. I mean, Aaron Donald is just a freaking freak. Same with Jalen Ramsey. So they got guys on both levels of the defense who can do stuff. Jared Goff is pretty much in the same status as Josh Allen, excuse me, where he's really going to take that team as far as the team goes. And if Jared Goff has a good game, it helps a lot. But if Jared Goff is bad, then there's not much Sean McVay can map up unless the running game is just going, stupendous like the San Francisco 49ers did with their run last year. With Russell Wilson, he does bounce back from good games, but it's just like you see godly Russ, but then you see mediocre Russ right after. It's been a lot more mediocre Russes than we expected, especially in not games that you need to win and to kind of push, the division, because the division is tough right now. NFC West is the best division in football this year, and they need these wins. They need these wins to kind of solidify themselves, especially for Russell Wilson, who was MVP talk and has completely dropped out of the race in a matter of a couple of weeks.
That's because he can't stop throwing interceptions. Another one this week. 27 of 43 for 263 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Um, DK Metcalf led the way with 5 catches for 80 yards. Tyler Lockett, 6 catches, 63 yards. Chris Carson, 3 catches, 45 yards, and a touchdown. Chris Carson also added 13 carries for 65 yards. Russell Wilson had 7 carries for 45 yards. Colt McCoy threw for 105 yards and somehow won. Wayne Gallman, the Wayne train, ran for 16 carries, 135 yards for an average of 8.4 yards per carry. But Alfred Morris stole the 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. Another Washington legend there. Yeah, I didn't even know he was on their roster, but apparently he is.
They signed him like a couple weeks ago.
I did know that, actually. I just forgot because it's 2020 Alfred Morris, not 2012 Alfred Morris.
Speaking of things that we forgot, I think the Jets forgot how to win the game, and Greg Williams definitely put them in a situation late where all you had to do was play prevent defense, and you would have got a win, which I predicted last week.
No. See, they knew what they were. They know how to win games, but they saw the Jaguars were beating the Vikings, and they were like, "All right, we can win this game." And then the Vikings came back, and they were like, "Oh no, if we win, we're gonna have the second pick. We gotta lose," and they did. To their credit.
Yeah, no one wants Justin Fields, right? That's the rumor is. No one wants him.
Yeah, that's terrible. I think Justin Fields is good. He's a good quarterback. Hey, he's no Trevor Lawrence, but he's still a good quarterback.
Dude, I heard a rumor from a GM, right, that the Jaguars are pretty optimistic that Trevor Lawrence is going to be there at number 2. I heard it from a reliable source.
Huh. Growing optimism amongst the Jaguars front office.
Yeah.
That Trevor Lawrence will be available at the second pick.
Well, if this growing optimism for the Jaguars means that he ain't going to number 2 pick whatsoever, because the Jaguars are terrible in the front office. So that's that is a fact. It's just a shame. Greg Williams deserved to be fired. It's a shame that he got fired before Adam Gase, though. But one thing we do have to give props to, and he is also one of our pylon standouts this week, and it is Mr. Baker Mayfield. First time, I want to say, in his whole career, playing a good football game and actually, leading this team. 25 for 32 for 334 yards and 4 tutties. Threw 4 touchdowns in the first half. Pretty good performance. They did let Tennessee storm back in the second half. Didn't really only put up 3 points.
Jarvis Landry had a better QBR than him, so I'm not ready to say he was that good.
Do you have that sound like ding 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 ding, like? Do you have that sound? Because this guy stinks.
Yeah, this guy does stink.
We got to give props where props due, though.
I'll give him his props. That slide on that touchdown celebration.
That was the best part of the whole game.
It was very nice.
He slid and spun, and I don't think with weeks of practice I could have hit that. I'm gonna be honest.
Definitely not. It was the most impressive thing he's ever done, and maybe the most impressive thing he ever will do.
I'm telling you right now, if you put a top 10 quarterback in on that Brown team, they might be undefeated. I think Baker Mayfield's trash. I think that every week is just him getting lucky. Like every week, he's like, "Oh, he actually threw a pass. It worked."
Well, this week, was obviously his best week in the entire career, stats-wise, for sure. Before this game, I think the most passing yards he's had was possibly like 201, like low 200s, high 100s. So not a high passing percent, especially when you're running the balls heavily and effectively as they do. But this is a step. If Baker Mayfield can replicate this somehow into the playoffs, which doesn't even sound right that the Browns actually are officially having a winning season. I mean, that this could be they could possibly make a noise. They can possibly get an upset victory somewhere down the line if Baker Mayfield can replicate this performance again.
Did you watch that game?
Yeah, I watched the first half. Well, I watched most of the first half and then a little bits of the second half.
Did you see 70 yards of his came from DPJ burning a Duke quarterback, and it wasn't even close? The guy didn't want to be there.
Oh yeah,
I feel
like
like
the double move.
You call that? Listen, it was a double move. It looked like it was a slant and go, not a slant, like a
It was like an
a
out
sideline
and
and go. Yeah, the
yeah.
out and go. That's what it was. And listen, I was a DPJ like late rounder guy. I was a third rounder guy. I went day two guy, but that corner didn't want to be there. Did not want to be there. He wasn't 10 yards near that guy.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely sold on the fake. I mean, that offense is not very explosive, and I can see why. You would bite on the out route, especially because Baker Mayfield doesn't really throw the ball down the field well with accuracy.
I agree. You're right. You're right. I'll give you that. You're right. I'm just hating. I think Baker Mayfield stinks. I think he's probably one of the worst.
I agree.
I'm giving the man his props that he deserves, and when people do something well, you got to give them their roses when it's due. And when they stink, we throw them into the trash run. And this week's trash run, we're going to get that going now. And let me get the intro.
Oh, I love trash. Trash.
In life, you have to take the trash out. If you have trash in your life, take it out. Throw it away. Get rid of it. Major key.
Get shit on! Your ass! Your ass!
I love it because it's trash. Yes, I love trash.
This is the worst.
All right, Cal. So this is your first time indulging in the trash run, and each week we throw someone who's been terrible this past week into the trash run. So we each have an offering that we throw in the trash. So, as with me saying that, who would you like to throw in the trash run this week, based off of performance?
Who's stunk?
Can you hear us?
We going big or we going local? That's because I'm really, really, really tuned into my team, and I have a guy that I want to throw in the trash. But should I go bigger?
No, you can do both if you want.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's like in and out.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Are we good
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I want to throw Michigan in the trash for one reason. They ruined college football this year. I have a problem with that. Two.
What about
Dakota
Wisconsin?
Dozier should
Wisconsin
not be on
had
the
to
team.
cancel their Ohio State
Please-
game earlier. That's
Please take him out of the all-starting lineup.
who?
Yes, but Michigan stinks.
This is true.
Michigan
does
State
stink.
or Michigan and Dakota Dozier for the Vikings. Left guard. He guy stinks.
Not the bulldozer.
All right.
Such a good nickname for such a bad player.
So for your first offering, we're going to throw Michigan into the trash. Jonathan, who do you want to throw into the trash run this week?
I want to throw the entire Chargers organization into the
Oh,
trash after losing 45-0 to the New England Patriots in a game where Cam Newton threw for under 70 yards.
that's true. Special
He threw
teams.
for 69 yards and 1 touchdown.
Giggity.
Um,
69.
Yeah. All right. Chargers organization
Nice.
into the trash. Yeah. I mean, honestly, yes. Anthony Lynn is definitely going after this season. I don't think you can give him another. Well, it was this year. Like you got to start fresh, and they're also one of the teams I think they can make a 1 year turnaround really fast. Like the Broncos, the Lions, I think can make a 1 year turnaround. Chargers for sure. They have too much talent. Like Chargers could really compete and make the playoffs next year. That's how much talent they have. Also, what's another team? San Francisco. San Francisco as well.
Well, San
But, I mean,
Francisco's they're only in this position because they've been hurt. But what did I tell you on the preview show about Justin Herbert being a rookie quarterback playing a Bill Belichick defense? I told you, Bill Belichick destroys rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert threw for 26 of 53, so under 500.
When they draft Zach Wilson.
50% completions. 209 yards and 2 interceptions, no touchdowns.
Yeah.
So 4 yards per throw and 2 interceptions. Not a great day at the office for Justin Herbert, who is my rookie of the year. But
Not looking good as of late.
not this week. He was fine last week.
I think he had like 2 picks last week.
Yeah, he was still fine though. 1 pick, 316 yards and a touchdown. He was fine.
We'll see.
And the Bills' defense is good. So is the Patriots. But they close out with the Falcons' defense this week, who stinks. The Raiders, Broncos, and Chiefs.
That's the real one.
So I think he should still have at least 2 more big games in there to wrap up that rookie of the year. But who's your trash run candidate, CJ?
This person pretty much lives in this trash run. Someone who's been down on big time. I have 2 selections, but the first one I'm going to go with is Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz officially benched this week in favor of Jalen Hurts. A person who has Dan Orlovsky's dick in his mouth or vice versa.
So hold on. If you think if JJ
Continue.
I think you froze.
Okay. We'll wait for him to get back. But
You said if JJ and then froze, and now it looks like you might. Oh,
I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm very behind you guys.
we can hear you,
yeah, you're back now.
and then you froze again.
He's probably rebooting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Carson Wentz has got benched in favor of Jalen Hurts. But this should have been happening a long time ago. He has not been playing well. He hasn't played good football. Even lately, when we thought that the Eagles could be making a run for the NFC East, when he started getting his players back, and he just hasn't been able to perform. He's been under duress a lot for sure. I think I got him back. Here we go.
There
Okay.
he is.
I was like 5 minutes behind you guys. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were.
we
You
got
was
that.
like you would say something, and then you like, yeah.
Yeah. I was joining in on conversations, but then you didn't hear me until like 5 minutes later. I was like, "Oh, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right."
All right. Well, we can hear you now.
Yeah. Talking about how, with the missed opportunities with Carson Wentz, especially as this Eagles team is, technically getting healthier, you didn't see the play of Carson Wentz improve. It almost seems like Carson Wentz played better with shittier players last year. This is definitely not his year this year at all. The team just stinks. And could this possibly lead to Doug Peterson getting fired? And for Eric
The
B,
DM's
that would
gone.
be a terrible situation. That'd be, that's a team that, has some pieces there, especially on the defensive side of the ball. That front seven is pretty good. It's just retooling that offense, and I think Eric B. I think I still like Eric B. going to Houston. I think that's still the best shot. Houston or possibly Atlanta. Atlanta would be pretty nice actually with the amount of weapons they like, especially the offense that he would want to run, and that it just can Matt Ryan keep up with that offense? Does he still have the arm, which he's been showing a little bit lately, but I mean he will have to still be there for at least another year before they can get rid of him. But yeah, Carson Wentz stinks.
He really does.
Hold on though. Is Matt B gonna go to a team that has no draft capital and can't pick his quarterback?
He's got Deshaun. He's got his quarterback.
True, but he still doesn't get to pick him.
If he takes that job, he is picking his quarterback.
If he goes to the Jags or he goes to the Jets, which will both take him, he gets to set his scheme up and draft his quarterback. How do you say no?
Easily, no. You say no. Because the fact that if you can go to Atlanta, who by far has probably some of the top weapons, and Matt Ryan is not a scrub, but he's still not going to get longevity. You have a lot more in place already to really just kind of retool that team and then make a run. It's a lot less.
You're tied to Matt Ryan. You're tied. Once you take that job, you're tied to Matt Ryan. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because you're going to go in, and if you're bad, right, you go in and you're bad because Matt Ryan stinks. I'm not saying he does. I'm saying you go in, you get 1 year, and Matt Ryan stinks, and you stink. You are now tied to Matt Ryan, and you wait. No shot. That going into the Falcons organization as the head coach right now is bad. I would not touch that. I would have to I'd be an interim guy or someone who needs a job next year, the year after it, because you're tying yourself to Matt Ryan. That team has 3 years and then has to restart. You have to blow that team up if you want to start over, if you want to get a top tier head coach. There's no shot.
Well, that's what they should start now. You trade Julio. Next year, you trade Matt Ryan. You draft replacements for both this year.
But even so, you don't really need that many replacements. Calvin Ridley and Gage have been playing well as a good 1-2 punch. They're still both on rookie deals.
Calvin Ridley got 1 more year?
Who? Ridley?
Ridley's got 1 more year?
He's got 1 more and then the 5th-year option.
Okay.
So that's really good. I mean, you still let Julio go to a contender. I'm okay with that. Unless he wants to just stay in Atlanta forever. But yeah, after this year, because right now, if you cut Matt Ryan this offseason, it's like a $50-something million cap hit or something like that. But after next year, it's like 25.
Listen, you don't have to cut him. You trade him. And the team you trade him to, we talked about this. No. We've talked about this. Me and CJ have before. Sending quarterbacks back to teams they either grew up rooting for or they played college ball near. And Matt Ryan went to, I think he's from Philly. So you send him to the Eagles because Carson Wentz stinks. And they're going to be drafting.
Who's taking Carson Wentz for $29 million a year?
More than that.
You just
You're not really going to get
the
much
guy got a fat
in return
contract
for
and
Matt
stuff.
Ryan, though, at this stage of his career. And
No,
that's
but I
what
mean, you can get like a second, third
Yeah, he
round
still
pick
has
for him.
money.
I don't even think you'd want to get that, though, unless it's a desperate team like the Colts, who obviously just likes to take a flyer out with older quarterbacks.
Didn't the Vikings give
I
up a
personally-
first round pick for Sam Bradford like 3 years ago?
Yeah, but that was good, Sam Bradford. And he almost
There's
took us
never
to the play.
a
He
good
did take
Sam
us to the
Bradford.
playoffs.
That's less than
There's a
number
ch-
one in Sam
Mm.
Bradford history.
You know, he just one tackle for being hit, for being injured. When he's playing, he's good. The minute he gets hurt, he's never
He
coming
just
back.
checked it down the whole year.
Hey, to Adrian Peterson and Cordell Patterson. Check it down. They'll run.
Yeah, but that's why he led the league in completion percentage, because all he did was throw like 3-yard passes.
We had KJ Wright on that team, too, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's KJ Wright. I always mix my 13s up. I'm pretty sure it was KJ Wright.
I don't think you had KJ Wright on your team.
It was a
You had
right.
Jarius
It was one
Wright.
of the rights.
Jarius.
Maybe. It was. Yeah, it was. But anyways, Matt Ryan, don't go to Atlanta. You're tied to Matt Ryan stinking for a year. If y'all suck for one more year, you're getting fired. Just period.
Well, I mean, the coach already got fired this offseason. I still think if you could be able to still make an immediate splash in Atlanta with what they have there, versus the Jets, where that's going to be a long rebuild.
Or is it? You get
Yes.
2 firsts, right? You get a generational talent. Now this is coaching. Now if the coaching's not there, they're going to be terrible. You get a generational talent quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, right?
Yeah.
You get Becton, top 5 left tackle. It seems. I'm not going to say lock it in, right? You get.
He's a stud, yeah.
You get you got a defensive player from the Ravens. I forgot what his name was, but he signed. Right, I can't think of his name. He opted out this year.
CJ Mosley.
You get all the money you want to spend to get anyone you want, any free agent. You can.
Who wants to
now
come play
challenge.
for the Jets, though?
That's what I'm saying. You have to you literally have to get the taste out of people's mouths of playing for the Jets and how bad they stunk for so long.
And they're not going to be able to do that year one.
And once you hire,
you have to
you
be
will.
good
I
a year
disagree.
or two before you get people to come.
How many? I hate saying this. I hate saying this right now. What I'm about to say, I hate saying, but I'm going to say it. How many NFL players want to play for a black head coach? I would say most of them.
Yeah, I don't know about this take at all. That's just really way out of pocket. But I'm just that's.
No, he's saying if you hire Eric B, like the players will be more interested in going to the Jets.
You get a pick. You get picks for hiring him.
You do with the new rule. You get an extra.
You get picks for hiring him.
3rd round pick for hiring a black head coach.
You get an extra 3rd round. Yeah. And how many black head coaches are in the league?
2,
right? If you're a player who cares about it, which is Mike Tomlin,
Anthony Lynn, and Mike Tomlin.
You don't. There's
it?
You don't.
I guess
there's
Romeo
not
could
chances
now
to play
technically
for a
is
black
interim
head
coach right now.
And Raheem.
Yeah.
Morris.
Yeah, the Texans, the Falcons is
Falcon.
a black guy.
Oh,
right?
Brian Flores.
Falcons.
How can we get Flores?
Oh yeah. I forgot about. So 5, but there's not chances to play it. You're gonna go there. He's from a winning culture. Winning culture. He's from the tree. He's gonna probably connect the players more. Adrian Peterson loves this man. It has nothing to do with being black to connect the players. He's a player's coach. I didn't want that to sound like that what I was saying, but he's a player's coach. He's not like the rah-rah guy. Adrian Peterson loves him. You're probably going to get Adrian Peterson next year. Like wherever he goes, you're getting Adrian Peterson. Let's be honest. You're going to have pieces. You're going to have random bits and odds pieces that are going to come and play for you, and you're going to win some games. You're going to have Trevor Lawrence throwing to a top receiver, game him because you're going to pay one like crazy because you're getting a quarterback.
Denzel Mims.
And then you're also going to have Denzel Mims. You have 87 draft picks. You can build whatever team you want.
Yeah, that's not going to happen year 1. You're going to see that in possibly year 2 or 3. but I still think it's not going to be an overnight success for the
It's a
Jets. You have
culture.
to build
It
a
is
culture.
not a no. But you're going to be overnight building a culture, which are going to attract more players in New York. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to win 4 games after they draft Trevor Lawrence, but it's about the culture of bringing that team up. Look at the culture in Cincinnati after drafting Joe Burrow.
Terrible.
Just drafting him, and all of a sudden they feel completely different.
They're terrible.
They
The
feel
culture is
completely different,
terrible.
and they're going to win.
The culture's terrible because the
the
owners
team
are
is excited.
the owner's terrible. Of
Yeah,
the
the
Bengals.
Bengals should not be an
They
NFL
didn't hire
franchise.
Jim.
That's a different scenario.
Anyway.
They're behind in every sense
Anyway.
of no indoor facility in 2020.
The
Literally
players,
only
but the
team.
players are happy.
No, they're not. There was dissension after Joe. There was dissension in the locker room since Joe Burrow's gotten hurt, and they're turning on each
That's
other.
literally what I'm saying. That's literally what I meant by that. Like, you got Joe Burrow, you draft him in, you get a winner, right? You draft T, a winner. You get these guys in the locker room. They
You
believe
still have
into
Zach
it.
Taylor
Now
as your head coach. He's not a winner. He stinks.
And I'm pretty sure.
Well, yeah,
I'm
that's
pretty
why
sure
you
have, like,
hire
that
a
racist
winning
left
head
guard.
coach.
Yeah, exactly, like Bellamy.
But we can just all agree that the Jets are not winning any type of games in year one whatsoever. It's going to be a long rebuild.
Yeah,
They could probably sneak out 3 to 4.
I think 4. I think Trevor beats
That's-
like a bad team.
It depends. It just depends on how much they try to sanitize and bleach from the Adam Gase culture.
Everything. You scrub everything from Adam
Yeah.
Gase culture.
I mean, honestly, if Anthony Lynn does get fired, Eric B to San Diego would be the greatest possible outcome for him.
I agree.
Because the
I agree.
weapons there, the quarterback's there, the defense there, literally this team can turn around in a year. And that's really them or Houston I can see legitimately turning around in one season. Well, Houston doesn't have the capital to, but I mean, I believe in Deshaun Watson, and if he has someone competent of a play caller, I believe in Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. Can they pay Allen Robinson? Do they have money to pay anyone?
The
Can they go get
Jets?
Allen Robinson in free agent?
Or the Chargers?
Texans?
The Texans.
They have no money.
No money.
They don't really have much money.
I don't even think
so-
Deshaun's extension hasn't even kicked in yet, and they have no money.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. Why would you want that team? You're not going to be. You don't have no room for 4 years. You can't do anything for 4 years.
Literally, but the possibility of just coaching Deshaun Watson, like you saw what Deshaun Watson did with a stooge Bill O'Brien. Like, and if you have someone who's actually good at his job and is competent, yeah, it's gonna take at least 2 years to undo a lot of the bullshit that's happened that Bill O'Brien got them into. But you still got to in his prime Deshaun Watson, and you're gonna start building around him.
Plus, players will want to come play with Deshaun.
With what money, though? That's what I'm saying. If they had money, yes.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get creative with the cap. No cap.
Oh, for sure.
They got no picks. It's not like they can go get where they're at right now in the draft. They could go get my favorite Devontae Smith. Right? Could you imagine Devontae Smith in this offense, or Jamar Chase, or Waddle if he?
They actually can't get him because the Dolphins own their pick.
They do.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that they didn't sell on these picks. That's literally what I'm saying.
So
Imagine they could actually go get these.
So what you just said, imagine that for the Dolphins and for Tua. That'd be nice.
I'm a Dolphins fan. I like the colors. Whatever.
They do have
The
some
white
nice colors.
jerseys are clean. The white jerseys are very clean.
Yeah. I like the teal, buddy. I like Preston Williams too. I'm a big Preston Williams fan.
They got weapons for sure. The
Yeah.
Dolphins are just a team on the rise. I'm excited. I mean, I don't think the Lions are too far off either. Which just it just sounds weird to say that.
I heard
they're
they're not re-signing Kenny Galladay.
Oh, Kenny Galladay to the Washington football team? I like that.
Why not?
I like that.
Yeah.
Kenny Galladay to Houston.
Or the Jets. or the Jets. That's what I'm saying. You just get their free agents that are going to get
You hear
paid
what you
in
just
New
said?
York.
It just didn't sound natural coming out your mouth.
You're
That
right.
just
You're
didn't
right. I
sound
agree.
natural.
You're
You're
not
really
wrong.
forcing it right now. You sound like a frat boy
But-
right now at a party. You're really trying to force something right now.
They're gonna lose Kenny Collins. Marvin Jones is old. Danny Amendola is probably concussed as we speak. That's their
Matt
top
Stafford
3
stinks.
receivers. Matt Stafford doesn't stink, but he is old.
He's
They
not.
have no
he doesn't
offensive
have any
line. They
more
have
years
one offensive
left.
lineman.
Of really good years left.
They got
Swifty is their promising running back.
Swifty. Their defense stinks. Their defense actually wasn't bad this year, but their linebackers stink.
They don't have a cornerback. They wasted our 4th overall pick.
Okuda has been doo-doo so far.
There's talks about Saleh, the
Dookie.
defensive coordinator for the 49ers, possibly going to this Detroit line. They're literally petitioning. Government officials are literally petitioning to get him there. Which, I mean, could he be? I mean, will that be the same, same old, literally with Matt Patricia? I mean, Matt Patricia pretty much embodied a terrible culture, which is funny coming from a guy who's supposed to be under the Bill Belichick tree, which Bill Belichick apparently hasn't really had the greatest of lineage coming from him.
The problem is every Bill Belichick disciple tries to be Bill Belichick.
That's true.
And there's only one Bill Belichick.
The minute he took those players out in the cold, he lost the locker room. They have not cared about him since he took those players out in the snow.
Matt Patricia?
Yeah.
Yeah, he took them out, made them practice in the snow with like no shoes on or some shit. Something crazy. He lost the locker room. He ran Darius Slay out of there. He lost the locker room.
But he lost the locker room when he traded Quandre Diggs.
True.
When they traded
True.
Quandre Diggs, that's when he lost the locker room. But yeah, that triggered Slay leaving. Because Quandre Diggs and Darius Slay were like that.
It could be a lot of NFL coaching jobs up for grabs this year.
Yeah.
A lot.
If they don't fire Matt Nagy.
Here's my hot take.
That's the worst ran organization.
I'm going to give you a hot take. You ready for this?
Let's hear it.
Cliff Kingsbury will be fired after next season.
Ooh.
If they don't win next year, I agree. If they're not winning next year,
I mean, this is only Kyler's second year in the league, but at the same time, like this is kind of like honestly, this is what we should really expect of Cliff Kingsbury because he really hasn't had that great of success as a head coach in the college ranks. And when the NFL has been high and mighty on this spread dual quarterback system, yes, but we're not getting the most out of Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray can be electric and is electric, but it just seems that he's just not getting that out of this team where they started off hot and just fizzle. And that just seems to be kind of a constant in that team. And that team is not bad. They got some decent talent on that team.
I mean, what's their record?
Literally all over it.
They're 6-6, and like you said, they're in the toughest division in football this year.
But they started off. I mean, after that big Hail Mary victory, they were 6-4, 6-3, something like that. They were 6-3, and then lost 3 straight.
How do they lose to the Seattle Seahawks with all the weapons? I don't get how they don't score 100 points. That's why whatever they're doing on offense isn't working because they should score all the points.
The problem is their offense stinks outside of DeAndre Hopkins.
The Christian Kirk's been playing well as of late.
Yeah, he really.
Kirk isn't really that good.
Larry,
he's just fast.
He's 90, but
Larry Fitzgerald's old as hell. So when DeAndre Hopkins gets triple teamed and Christian Kirk's able to get one-on-one coverage with a safety and he runs past him, yes, he's going to look good because he's burning a safety who's turning his hips 10 yards after he's already been run past. Christian Kirk's he's not a bad player, but he's not very good either. He's a league average player. Like they could
I
definitely
agree.
get a
There's nothing
better.
else to say about
There's
that. I
definitely
agree.
better receivers than Christian Kirk out there.
Yeah,
Their offensive line hasn't been
I think
great.
it's this.
Defense, I don't know what's going on. They need to give Isaiah Simmons more snaps. The guy's a stud, or should be at least.
I know one
But
thing with Kyler is he's been dealing with a shoulder injury the past couple of weeks as well, which I think he hasn't ran the ball as much. So which is also kind of leading to some, I guess, deflating, so to speak, of the offense.
well, yeah, because Kenyon Drake stinks, and they keep
But
trying to
hold
give
on
him the
though.
ball
He
20
doesn't
times
get hit when
a
he
week.
runs.
Huh?
He doesn't, but they're not having him run because he might get hit. But it's his throwing shoulder, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but he's
So it hurts when he throws also.
It is. But
So
I just saw something on Twitter. I wish I could bring it up. But they have the DeAndre Hopkins route tree. It's like 4 routes. He's been running all game 4 routes.
Cliff Kingsbury is
Yeah,
not very good as an offensive coordinator.
that's what I'm saying. He's not really working with that much right now.
But he still I still think who's supposed to be he literally got hired as this offensive guru mind. That's the same mentality that Zach Taylor got hired off of as well. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, Zach Taylor has much better weapons.
Yeah. Yeah, but it really wasn't really him. To be honest. Zach Taylor was underneath, Sean McVay.
No, but I'm saying in Cincinnati, even though Zach Taylor doesn't look that great, he has better weapons than Cliff Kingsbury has in Arizona.
Yeah, and he's still not doing anything with them.
Exactly.
So here's the thing about that.
Cliff Kingsbury's doing more than Zach Taylor right now with less. What were you saying, Kyle?
But I think that I don't think the average fan looks at the weapons. Like the average NFL fan looks at the weapons of those teams and says that the Arizona doesn't have better weapons. I think people look at that and go, "Look at all these shiny toys," and you think they're better.
Well, yeah. I mean, they got Nuke, so they have the best receiver in the NFL. Top 3, pretty consensus. Arguably best. But the Bengals have a much better receiver group. You got AJ Green, you got T. Higgins, you got Tyler Boyd, you got Auden Tate, John Ross, who, while he gets no snaps, if they played him, he's at least the best deep threat decoy. They don't really ever throw him the ball, but if you at least have him running deep every play, he's taking a corner and probably a safety out of the play because of his speed. So they got a good group there. Whereas the Cardinals have Nuke, who's good, Kirk, who's all right, Larry, who's washed, Andy Isabella, who's 5'2" and can't catch. And that's about it.
I agree. I think you're right about that. But
they're both not performing well, especially where they came into the league as supposed to be these offensive game changers. You're supposed to be these specialists. And Cliff Kingsbury isn't doing that. They literally, destroyed Josh Rosen's career because the fact that they wanted to get Kyler Murray, and then because Cliff worked with Kyler Murray back in, was it high school or freshman year, college, whatever. They're both. Zach Taylor stinks. He might get one more year, but he's not gonna be there long. Well, he might be there for fucking forever if Marvin Lewis has anything to do with longevity in Cincinnati. I don't know.
Marvin Lewis is there.
He was.
He was there for 30 years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I thought he went back. I was like, what the hell is happening?
Nah, he's
No,
at Arizona
he's
State.
saying if Marvin Lewis was there for that long, they might let
Oh,
Zach Taylor
Oh.
stay there for like 10 years too.
It's like a Jason Garrett situation.
Yeah, Jason Garrett stinks.
Yeah.
It's not Jason Garrett, obviously.
What do you mean by that?
What's
Statement?
not Jason Garrett? The Cowboys?
No, Jason Garrett wasn't the problem. It's actually just the Cowboys organization. That organization sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he stinks to the coach too. But yeah, the problem with the Cowboys is they still think Zeke is the best running back in the league, and he's washed.
They were the best running back on the roster.
And they paid him. Correct. Tony Pollard is significantly better than Zeke right now. And it seems like they're starting to realize that. They give Tony Pollard a few touches, and then he'll get like 2 the next game, and then he'll get like 10, and then go back to like 2. And it's like, dude, he's way more explosive than Zeke right now. And I hope next year when Dak is back, if Dak is back, they phase Zeke out a little bit more because Tony Pollard is the better option right now. And yeah, the Cowboys, I think Jerry Jones is stuck in the 80s too, with that run the ball to win mindset. So he loves Zeke. That's why they paid Zeke. That's why they took Zeke 4th overall when they could have had Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, they could have had Jalen Ramsey and then drafted Derrick Henry in the 2nd. And they didn't. And that would have been a much smarter play. But they didn't. They went with Zeke, and they doubled down on Zeke by paying him, and he stinks. He's washed. He has no explosiveness. He looks like he's running in 3-foot-tall water at all times. The last
This is
2
a
seasons, at least.
Depressing talking.
Yeah. Because Zeke used to be really good and fun to watch, and now he's boring and stinks.
But I think that's just
CMC and Cook right behind him.
Yeah, it's just really just a.
They're both ahead of him now.
Yeah, it's just vindictive of that team and organization just bringing them down. Honestly, with just a lot of terrible play calling and plays. I mean, they still have a decent offensive line.
No, the offensive line is in shambles right now. The offensive line stinks.
They still got, they stink. But I think if the Cowboys get healthy, they still could be good. They could be good, but it's not a lot of competence at play calling. Like the fact that keep Kellen Moore there, but Kellen Moore is just a mouthpiece to other people. Like I don't even think Kellen Moore really is calling plays. It's just weird. It's just a weird.
Who do you
situation.
think is then?
Jerry Jones. Like, why would I don't know? I mean, maybe Mike McCarthy, but I mean,
I think it is Mike McCarthy, and Mike McCarthy stinks.
Yeah, that's why Aaron Rodgers is like, yeah, we're like literally doing the same fundamental shit.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers literally sucked to get him run out of town, and it's hilarious. He stunk on purpose to get his coach fired because he was the only reason his coach had a job still.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers got one Super Bowl.
Yeah, because of Mike McCarthy. You could have had more if Mike McCarthy didn't stink.
Yeah. We'll see what happens this year.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wrap up this episode because it's getting very late. And to wrap up this episode, yeah, we got into it. We really did.
We've been going for 2.5 hours.
Let's do our
XFL talk. Really got us, dude.
Yeah, the XFL.
That was like an hour and a half right there.
For sure. XFL and Coastal for sure. Those two we went in. But let's do our picks for Thursday night, and then we're back on Thursday for the pile and picks for the rest of the week. So we got the Super Bowl rematch, Patriots taking on the Rams this Thursday night. Who do you guys got, and who do you think will win?
All right. I'm going to keep with the the jinx going here. So I'm going to take the Rams 24-20.
Oh, that's a high scoring game. Okay. Kyle, what do you think?
Thursday night game. I need the Rams to lose. I'm gonna say a low scoring game, really low. 14-9, and I'm gonna say Rams win 14-9.
Okay. You say you went with the Rams as well, but you're doing reverse psychology, reverse jinx, Jonathan. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Although I don't know if it's going to work if I say it as I'm making the prediction, but we're going to try it anyway.
I think my biggest thing is for this week.
You unjinx the jinx.
I know. Now it's just reverse. I'm the one being reversed.
My thing for this week is, even though the Patriots will beat the Chargers 45-0, that offense really didn't do too much in the victory. You know, a lot big special teams performance by them. With that being said, I don't know if the Patriots have enough offense to score a lot of points. Will they kind of have another performance again this week of really just winning at all three phases of the game, which you do need to do? But I just think that the Rams defense is pretty good. I think Aaron Donald will win over the Patriots offensive line. I have more faith. I don't even want to say Jared Goff. I have more faith in Sean McVay as a play caller than I do of what the Patriots have as their offense. So I am going with the Rams, and to get the revenge and continue the momentum going into the playoffs. I think the Rams win 21-9. So yeah,
That's fair.
but yeah, that's it. Then that's just
I like
been,
the 9 points.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to score too much. I mean, the offense is not. It hasn't been good. But the Patriots have a lot of cap next year, and it should be interesting to see what decisions they decide to make and how they're going to retool that team. But yeah, thanks, Kyle, for coming on the show today.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, do you want to come back and make some picks on Thursday night?
No.
Hey, whenever y'all want me, as long as I don't
He
derail
said
y'all
no,
into the
wait.
excess.
Like,
We burnt him out
As
tonight
long
with
as, you
this
don't,
3-hour episode.
long as I don't derail you for, long as I don't derail y'all to some crazy singular topic for an hour and a half. I'm fine.
now,
I mean-
Thursday is more of a chill. We just talk about who we want to pick.
Yeah,
Those are
Thursdays
normally-
is usually like an hour shorter than our Tuesday episodes. Tuesday episodes are usually the ones where we go on our little side rants.
So yeah, this is nothing like new on Tuesday. Like, we go kind of long on Tuesdays anyway.
Yeah.
Good. I don't want to be that crazy person.
Oh no,
No,
like
you're
that's
good.
the whole part of the show. Hate to pile on. We pile on way too
We
much.
piled on tonight.
Yeah, it's right on cue. Yes, thanks for hopping on the show. This has been great. A lot of good talk this week. Excited for some football action. Excited for Coastal Carolina football as they have a huge Sun Belt championship match against Louisiana, which should be interesting. I was looking forward to the App State rematch, but Louisiana is also, I think they're ranked 25th. I'm not sure if what their ranking is this week. They did beat App State, so they could be a higher ranked team this week. So, which also can be played in the factor of getting Coastal Carolina closer into that playoff picture, or at least a Sugar Bowl appearance, maybe. Let's see, maybe Sugar Bowl, Cotton Bowl range. I would say definitely New Year's Day Bowl. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Any last words, Jonathan?
No, I think we might need another week of games after the championship games have been played, though. The conference championships.
Yeah.
Because, it's going to be Alabama and probably Florida in the SEC championship game. because Florida has one more win than A&M right now, so they have the better record. But so I say we have the loser of that game play Texas A&M, and then the winner of that game could be the 4 seed.
True.
But
I think
also,
Ohio State falls out. Honestly, I really do think Ohio State falls out at the end.
That's why the Big Ten is trying to make this change, because if they don't, Indiana is not going to make the Final Four. And
True.
if Ohio State doesn't win the Big Ten championship, they also will not make the Final Four. So for the Big Ten to have a representative in the playoff, they have to have Ohio State play in the Big Ten championship and win. So that's why they're trying to change the rule to, I think, only 5 games required to be in the Big Ten championship game. I don't know what's going to happen there, but yeah, Indiana's not going to get in as is. That's why I tweeted today that Ohio State should just play Indiana again at Indiana, because the first one was at Ohio State. I think.
Yeah, it was at Ohio State.
Yeah, because Indiana, I don't think their game is canceled. Wait a second. They're playing Purdue. So yeah, nobody cares about Purdue. Have Purdue play Troy or whoever Coastal is supposed to play this week. Have Coastal play Cincinnati, whose game is canceled, and have Ohio State play Indiana. Boom.
I like it. Also, I like this episode, but that is all we have for today. Catch us back on Thursday as we do our picks for the weekend. We all have the Rams coming in for this week. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Kyle, for joining.
Thank you very much.
It. Have a great night, everybody. Peace out.
Peace out.
Take it easy, everyone.